2 of the NFL draft. I am your host, Danny Ocean, as always, joined by the smoothest man on the planet, D. I know you had a rough night last night. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. But other than that, how are you? It's night 2 of the draft. What are you looking
Oh, my
forward to?
brother, it is a blessing to be back with you again and the wonderful folks for going from the Going for Two Network family. I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to talk some NFL draft. I know we've been previewing it a lot on our Tuesday night Speak On It show. So really excited to be hosting day two. And hopefully my Packers make up for what was, I thought, a disappointing day two with their choice of draft picks. But
Let's do some housekeeping stuff first because we have a lot to talk about. You and I are doing 7 to 8. We may hang on a little longer. We'll see. But as always, this show is brought to you by GoingFor2.com. Head over to GoingFor2.com for all your daily fantasy needs. A lot of your dynasty drafts are coming up. I know our dynasty draft is on Sunday. I got a little work to do. I got a lot of draft picks. I got to shed some roster space. But let's jump right into it. So for those at home on the audio adventure, we're not going to go pick for pick when they're announced unless something big happens. We'll come back every 3, 4, 5 picks to talk about our thoughts. But first, shout out to Cal in the chat. Anyone rocking with us, talking to chat, we'll talk back. D, do you have anything? Again, I know last night was rough. You and I were texting last night, and it was a bit rough. Do you want to ISO on this? Do you want me to set up, or do you want to go there? Like, how
you
do you?
know, why don't you go ahead and set it up? I feel like you it gives me time to evaluate my thoughts.
Okay, so let's do the highlights of round one. I think the biggest highlight or the biggest story is that Will Levis did not get drafted. Will Levis was in there all by himself, and his girlfriend last night looked like she realized she made the wrong decision. She thought her man was a first round pick, and she realized he is not. And there might be some hard conversations in that house if he does not get drafted. It is 7 o'clock Eastern time. If he's not drafted by 7:23. I have a feeling there'll be some tough conversations going on in that house. Some other notables. Bryce Young went 1 overall. CJ Stroud went 2, and then Houston jumped right back into. They traded. Houston traded with Arizona to jump to the 3rd overall pick to draft Will Anderson. So Houston had 2 of the top 5 picks. Jalen Carter dropped all the way to 9 to Philadelphia. Nobody knows what the hell is going on in Detroit. Bijan went to Atlanta. I am extremely excited about that. I think I talked about that a couple of weeks ago, how exciting it would be to have Bijan in the NFC South. Let's see. Any Dalton Kincaid, the Bills jumped in front of the Cowboys to get Dalton Kincaid. JSN was the first receiver drafted 20th overall to the Seahawks. D, am I missing anything? Oh, yeah. The Packers took Luka Van Ness 13th overall instead of drafting JSN after the Stars had a line. D, I'm gonna ISO. I'm gonna step back. You and Kyle can talk about this together. I know you were heated. I'll add some context for the viewers. Last night the Packers were on the clock, and I text you. I said JSN, eye emoji. I think you and I are both on the same page. Tuesday night you said, hey, if he's there, don't F it up. And they effed it up.
Let me give you a little background, a little context. So I recently joined a slow pitch softball team.
Okay.
And yesterday we met up for our first game. Now, beforehand, we may have had a few brewskis, maybe to loosen some things up before we go out there on the mound and compete to our highest extent, as you can imagine. So we get out there and it's draft time. And then I remember the Packers are picking early in this. And then we haven't really started, we haven't even gotten to batting practice yet. We're just throwing the balls around, paws, doing some pitch and catch. So I said, all right, I'm gonna hold on a little bit. Y'all go on ahead. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna watch the draft. And I just watched pick by pick. Bryce Young, 1 overall. Okay, I'm a little bit shocked. Thought it was gonna be Anthony Richardson, but whatever. CJ Stroud 2. Then I see the Texans come back at 3. When I see that, I said, okay, so they've already that's it. That's their 2 first-round picks. They're not picking again. So they can't try to pair CJ and Jackson Smith and Njaba together. All right, now I'm liking where we're going because I don't know if a lot of these other teams ahead of us need wide receivers. So here we go, right? Anthony Richardson comes off the board. Devon Witherspoon comes off the board. Paris Johnson Jr. goes off of the board, right? Tyree Wilson goes off the board. Bijan, not going to hold you. That confused the hell out of me.
Really?
Because they just drafted Tyler Algier last year. 1,000-yard back. So I don't know what they're doing in Atlanta, but I digress. I digress. I saw the Eagles take Jalen Carter. I mean, I knew you mentioned you wanted Jalen Carter. Okay. Then Peter Skrinkowski, the tackle from Northwestern. Man, Northwestern, they put out some great picks. Then I see the Lions jump ahead of us. So now I'm like, oh man, would they? With the Lions? And they go Jahmyr Gibbs. Whoa. I'm going to be honest with you. Was not expecting that at all. At all. But at that point, after Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm literally saying, it's here. It's time. Just you draft them and then you figure some other positions out. And what do they do? Lucas Van Ness, defensive lineman from Iowa.
You were hot last night. Like, you were heated last night.
What was the point of a trade with? What was the point of trading your franchise quarterback if all you're going to do is get a defensive lineman? Now, this guy can turn out to be J.J. Watt. This guy can turn out to be Aaron Donald, but Jackson Smith and Njaba was the pick. I don't like this. I wasn't a fan of it.
You seem more reserved.
I'm lucky that I was at the softball park and not at my current house because I probably would have drop kicked my TV right from over my right shoulder or left shoulder. It would have been coming down. Pause. I just don't understand. Explain that to me. What was the point? You mean to tell me that Lucas Van Ness wouldn't have been there at 15 had you just kept Aaron Rodgers?
Do you think Aaron Rodgers sent a text to Jordan Love and just said, LOL? I tried to tell you.
Well, I don't think there was any guarantees on Jordan's end that they were going to draft a wide receiver. I think a lot of people anticipated or heard through the grapevines that Green Bay really liked Jackson Smith and Njaba JSN. They clearly proved us wrong because they are some liars. What's good, Jamie? What's good, Jamie? So, Danny, today, day 2 of the draft.
Yes.
Right. Top of the draft and on the clock right now are the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
So the Steelers yesterday, actually, I believe they traded up. Yes, they did. The Steelers traded up yesterday to take Broderick Jones, an offensive tackle from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see them going with pick 32 at the top of the second round today?
If they're smart, they will hold some team hostage, some team that wants Will Levis. I would be taking calls right now and just trading that to the highest bidder. I think that pick right now is too valuable to trade. I would see what I could get for Will Levis. Can you parlay that into a second round pick next year? Can you get more picks? I don't know how many picks the Steelers have in the draft this year, but I would do my best to trade this so someone can jump up and grab Will Levis. That's what I would do. I mean, the Steelers, they were 9-8 last year. They have some holes to fill. I think you're at a point where you can take best player available for the Steelers. Here's the thing about the Steelers. I think Kenny Pickett is not it. I don't think you can win with Kenny Pickett. I know it's only been 1 year. I didn't see it coming out of Pitt. Don't see it now. Yeah, Jamie, they can take Porter. That'd be a cool story.
I like Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, he's a little handsy, but we're in the second round now, so there's no such thing as a perfect prospect. So I could see Porter. I
like Joey Porter Jr. corner out of Penn State, or like Brian Branch safety out of Alabama. I think staying in the I I think I like the Steelers to stay in the defensive mindset. I think when you think about the real identity of this team, it's built on the defensive end. It's built with really trying to make forcing your opponents to really have to drive the length of the field. And I think Minka Fitzpatrick probably is a great example of kind of those defensive backs that they like in Pittsburgh. So I like Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama, but I think again like you were saying, I think Joey Porter Jr. would be another great story. I could also see, given some of the, injuries to Najee Harris, I could also see the Steelers maybe thinking about drafting a running back here. This could be this is a strong running back class. And maybe someone like Tajay Spears, the running back out of what I believe Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a really good senior day. So, I don't know. They added Allen Robinson as someone who has George Pickens in fantasy. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that could be a good thing and a bad thing.
George Pickens is wide receiver 1. Don't even worry about it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. If we can take a moment, I'd like to relive my draft night.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know, I am an Eagles fan. Last night was very intense. I'll set the scene. So last night, my wife had found something on Netflix to watch. And I was like, oh, okay, we can watch it. But I had the draft on. I had my iPad on. I had my AirPod in. I was just listening casually. I was hearing the names. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Then it got to Seattle. And I was like, here we go. They're going to take Jalen. I can kind of like clock out. And they didn't take Jalen Carter. And I was like, oh. And then we got to Detroit. And they didn't take Jalen Carter. And I was like, oh. And then the Falcons were on the clock. And that's when I started. I was like, okay, Howie, he cannot reach Chicago because Chicago will definitely take him. Howie, jump them, get him, call it a night. And, the closer we get to this pick, I'm not paying attention to the TV. Like, she's watching it by herself. She just doesn't know it. So she makes a comment about what we watch. And she was like, oh, wow. Blah, blah. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And she's like, are you even watching this with me? And I was like, I'm sorry, dear. I'm watching the draft. And then we get to Chicago. And I was like, damn it. And then Howie trades with Chicago. And then he gets his hands on Jalen Carter. And I don't know. I haven't been this happy during the draft since the night we drafted Carson Wentz. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. With that Jalen Carter pick. And then, so I'm just continue to watch the draft. I wanted Nolan. I was very interested in Nolan Smith. I didn't think Nolan would be there at 30. We got to Dallas. I was like, here we go. They'll grab Nolan. They did, and they drafted a tackle out of Michigan, and then we're at 30. And it's like, no, there's no way they're going to draft Nolan. I thought they were going to trade the pick for someone who wanted Will Levis. And sure enough, they got Nolan. I didn't go to sleep last night. It was like,
you were happy.
I'll take that back. I was happy last year because of the AJ Brown.
You last night, and I was like, yo, nah, screw you for getting both the dudes that you guys said y'all were going to get.
And I take that back.
Hey, while we're here, the Steelers pick is in. The Steelers pick is in.
Oh, wow. Alex Faneca has lost a lot of weight. Let me tell you something. Yeah, these linemen, dog.
Handsome. Yeah, no, this handsome brother right here with the yellow jacket on. Alan Faneca, Pro Football Class of 2021. The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Porter Jr., corner, Penn State, is now pick number 2 going to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a pretty cool story. Let me ask you, can I ask you a question? And this has nothing to do with the draft. Yo, what were some of the fits these dudes were wearing last night? I've always wondered, 2 things I've always wondered. One, where they get these fits from. And I'm specifically talking about Jordan from USC. Dog. You were too.
They got it from Sauce Academy. You ain't got no sauce. That's why you hate.
No. Here's no.
Can I finish? I seen you. I seen your game. That's hate.
No.
That's
the only thing I'm hating on is the pre-tied bow tie. You're about to be a millionaire. Get a bow tie that you can tie or someone can tie for you. That's my only gripe.
Nah, my brothers. Keep your pre-tied bow tie. Cheap it till you die. Don't fake it.
No. Let me tell you, untied bow tie, a self-tied bow tie is just as much as a pre-tied bow tie.
No, you hate.
You about to be on
Joey Porter Jr., he's a 2-time third team All Big Ten DB. How do you see him fitting in with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Mike Tomlin's
I
defense?
mean, that's the one thing Pittsburgh knows how to do is draft wide receivers and draft defensive backs, or get their hands on
That's
elite
true.
defensive backs. I have no problem with the pick. Oh, the Cardinals on the clock.
What were your thoughts on the Cardinals' moves yesterday?
Uh, they let's be real. The Cardinals are just waiting for.
They took Paris
Mhm.
Johnson Jr. yesterday,
And
the offensive tackle from Ohio State, who's a monster of a man.
you know who's really, you know who's
Monster
going to thank them
boss.
for that?
Who?
Caleb Williams next year when he's in Arizona.
No, because you can't. If you're going to draft Caleb Williams, then you might as well keep Kyler Murray.
Caleb Williams thanks you guys for drafting his left tackle of the future.
Again, if you're going to draft Caleb Williams, you might as well keep Kyler Murray, same player. Did that trade between the Cardinals and the Titans ever manifest itself? Remember, there were talks about the Cardinals thinking about trading trading with the Titans in a trade that involved DeAndre Hopkins. Did that ever manifest itself, or where did we net out with that?
It has not yet. I was watching the pre-show, and they said that they think there's a potential that DeAndre Hopkins could be traded tonight. But another DeAndre that's probably pissed off is DeAndre Swift, because the Detroit Lions
Jahmyr
last
Gibbs
night
draft.
Yeah, the Lions last
traded
night
up to get him too.
Yeah, at 12 overall, they grabbed Jahmyr Gibbs. That's after paying David Montgomery, and that's also after drafting DeAndre Swift 2 years ago. Is Detroit, are they going to run the single wing T? Are they going to run the wishbone? Are we running the triple option?
Well, apparently, according to Cox sources,
Pauls.
DeAndre Swift has already kind of been in touch about a potential trade. Don't hold me to it. I got that from Cox sources.
That's a big pause. That's 2 pauses in 30 seconds.
No. Don't unpause me. It's play.
Hey,
play.
Howie. Go get that man.
What?
Go get DeAndre.
Yo, what's up with you? Just want the Eagles to get all the best players.
Yes, that's what every fan should want, that their team get all the best players. Howie.
How about y'all develop? All right, listen to this. So Jamie says the Browns did awesome in round 1 yesterday. First time they couldn't screw up the pick. So that's a win in his book. He says that because they have no first round pick. So they picked no one.
They traded all that for nasty man.
Yeah. There's a trade to the Titans.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
Will Levis.
Here we go.
There it is.
Will Levis, you are a Tennessee Titan. I feel it coming. Let's see it. It's the Tennessee Titans are on the clock, and the pick is in.
That didn't take long.
The pick is in. Here we go. I think this is the Will Levis pick right here. Let's see it. So my thing is, if the Titans draft Will Levis, then what does that say about them taking Malik Willis last year?
Malik Willis, congratulations. You're going to open up a dealership in Tennessee.
But that was a second round pick they put on him last year, was that not? Or no, that was a fourth round pick.
Fourth round. I mean, when Will Levis, so he got to start against Kansas City. Is there anything Will Levis? I mean, not Will Levis. Is there anything that Malik Willis did that made you think, yeah, okay, I can see it? I didn't see anything.
Well, look at the offensive system they're running in Tennessee, and tell me if they're really world beaters. You know, it's a lot of Derrick Henry, and that's it. So Mel Kiper says that the Tennessee Titans need wide receiver help, QB help, corner help,
all the help.
All the help. Yeah.
Jamie said they can move Willis to running back. Hey, yo. That's crazy.
So if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan or an owner of maybe, let's just say, a Lamar Jackson, how should you be feeling in Dynasty right now?
Should feel great. You should feel pretty good.
I should feel pretty good.
Oh, right? Is that a question for you?
Yeah.
Oh, look it.
I should feel pretty good. I feel good as a Mark Andrews owner now. Yes. I was. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Tennessee Titans pick is in, and here we go. Is this Will Levis?
Man, Rogers' drip game is terrible.
Yes, it is. Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky, is now a Tennessee
That
Titan.
fits. That feels right. Like there's some like Will Levis in Tennessee just feels right for a number of reasons.
I think I like this pick for the Tennessee Titans. You got Traylon Burks there, young wide receiver, so that might boost a little bit of his stock if you got him in Dynasty right now. I think with Derrick Henry there, that's a real, again, that's just another big physical runner. Mix that in with Will Levis. I think, depending on the offense here, if they surround him maybe with another veteran wide receiver in Tennessee, I think they might be on to something.
Well, you know what? At the top of the show, I said he had to get drafted by 7:23, or he was going to have a conversation with his lady tonight. It's 7:22, and he has been drafted. Congratulations, Will. You win twice.
What are you, Mr. Mind Reader? Y'all, he's Mr. Mind Reader.
Hey, man, listen. His girl last night, I saw the picture. She was like, "What? You got me out here eating Doritos in front of God in America, and you ain't get drafted in the first round?"
No. Well, he wasn't first round ready.
Dog. Speaking of which, did you see Will Anderson's chain last night?
Oh yeah, it was
Terminator
saucy.
joint. That was fire. Where are these kids getting these chains from? I would like a chain
From their jeweler friends,
Like, do you think the jeweler's like, "Hey, just pay me when you get drafted," or how do you think that works? You think what? Maybe the agent buys it as a gift,
or maybe the agent buys it and says, "When you get your rookie contract, we'll just take it out of there."
That's fair.
Nah, I mean. So up next on the clock is the Detroit Lions, and as you know, they kind of made some headwinds with their trade for Jahmyr Gibbs yesterday. Where do you think they kind of go?
Oh, they about to draft a punter
with 34. You think they're going to draft a punter?
I mean, the way they've been acting, they drafted a running back and a linebacker, top 15 or top 20. Yeah, they just doing whatever they want. They about to draft a punter.
I mean, yeah. Hold on. Let me see. They I forgot they did take Jack Campbell at 18. Oh, brother.
Yo, now look at the sauce in the Titans war room. My man got on a baby blue blazer. That joint
baby blue John with the beard.
That's what I'm talking about. That is drip.
Look, he representing for the Ball brothers with a beard.
As the president of the Ball Black Man Association, I approve.
You're the president?
Yeah, the president of the Ball.
Someone told me you was deputy commissioner.
Hey, I'm the head man in charge of the Ball Black Man Association and the Hairy Chest Mafia. Sorry, you were saying.
Speaking of commissioner, I am a commissioner of 2 leagues. I'm really excited, but I'm really excited for this Dynasty League rookie draft that's coming up. I hope you guys are ready, and I hope you have your game plans.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, pick 34 from the Detroit Lions. The pick is in. And the Detroit Lions are selecting Sam Laporta, tight end, Iowa.
Okay.
So this is who they're bringing in to replace TJ Hawkinson, huh?
A more interesting question I have is, how much do you hate yourself to be a Detroit fan?
What do you mean?
Like, they don't win anything. Like, they always lose. Like, why would you want to be a Lions fan?
Well, they're getting better and they're improving. They're a young team. They're really young. I mean, they're a really, really young team.
Damn, this boy running. You think of these highlights?
Yeah, he's got some. I like where you can take the culture here.
Yeah, my man, and he from Iowa. Oh yeah, he running like segregation on his heels, or desegregation is on his heels.
Yeah. Jamie asks, why not Michael Mayer? I think they liked Sam Laporta's kind of open field ability, as you can see, versus versus Kentucky in that bowl game highlight. He's really nice in the open field. I don't know. I like that pick. I think Sam Laporta could be something. He probably is a little bit better of a blocker too. Iowa has a good history of putting good blocking tight ends in the league. So.
Jamie, why they took him? Because last night they kept talking about the kid from Notre Dame like he's Jason Witten, and I promise you, don't nobody want a Jason Witten ass tight end on their team.
Why?
Because he's slow.
Well,
listen, it was cool to be slow and unathletic back then, but now cats like Nolan Smith. Colts trade the pick to the Raiders.
Yeah, the
Okay,
Colts, ladies and gentlemen, the Colts have traded pick, what was that,
5.
35 to the Raiders.
Oh, that's
And
Herndon
Danny,
Hooker.
the pick is in.
That's
Here we
Herndon. That
go.
is Herndon Hooker.
You think so?
Yeah. These are me. This is me guessing, people. I'm not on Twitter right now. Like I'm not following Shefty or any of the. But yeah, I have a
I honestly think the Raiders take Michael Meyer, tight end
or
from Notre Dame, with
they
this
might be
pick.
doing that too.
35. I could definitely see that happening. I think with the departure of Darren Waller, I know they have Foster Monroe, but I feel like Josh McDaniels is going to want to run a lot of two tight end sets. I like Michael Meyer here, but we'll see. I could also see them maybe wanting to take a defensive lineman, just knowing that they got some defensive linemen that maybe are getting up there in age. Um,
I got a question
Maybe
for
they go
you.
wide receiver to help. What are you thinking? What's up? What's your question?
What did Packers were up in 9-ish picks, and you have 2 second-round picks. What would you
Yeah,
like to
we
see the
pick
Packers do?
at 11 and we pick at 14. So we pick at pick 42 and pick 45.
What would you like to see the? And Kyle, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this too. What do you guys want to see the Packers do this evening?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, I think at this point, I would like I would like the Packers to either take someone maybe like Jalen Hyatt or Marvin Mims,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a Jonathan Mingo, all wide receivers. I think if they also, if he's on the board, maybe you take Darnell Washington, or Luke Musgrave. He's a really good tight end as well from Morgan State. Outside of that, I mean, maybe you take an offensive tackle. You know, I don't know if there's really a need to take a running back right now, but if you did, I think to be honest with you, I like either Kendre Miller from TCU or Israel Abenakida from the running back from Pitt. So, I think there's a few wide receivers on the board that I like, but I like Marvin Mims. Me personally, I would like to see Marvin Mims drafted to be a Green Bay Packer personally.
Okay.
But the Raiders pick is in, my friend. Here we go. Here we go. Who do you think they take?
I'm
Oh, you
saying
already said
Herndon
it, right?
Hooker. I'm thinking they take Herndon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker. Let's go. I like
Oh damn, he's scary. Dog, these Raider fans, I feel like they all killers.
they come out. They
Dog,
come
you have to
out.
murder someone to be a Raiders fan. That's the only way you get
Don't
in.
say that. So let's see who they take. The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. With pick 35, the Las Vegas Raiders select
No. Damn, Roger talking a lot.
Michael Meyer, tight end Notre Dame. How about that?
How about that? All right.
Look at that. Look at Los D Mixtradamus over here. Now it makes sense. I think when you have an offensive mind like Josh McDaniels, someone who really likes to utilize the two tight ends, that I think the Michael Myers pick makes sense. You want to replace not Foster Moreau. You want to replace Darren Waller, but also to tag along with Foster Monroe. I think Michael Myers is a really good compliment. So.
Imagine getting cooked by Jason Witten. He just looks so
Hey,
slow.
plenty of people got cooked by Jason Witten, my friend. That's hate that you got in your voice.
That is hate.
That's
a whole
hate.
lot of hate. I love to hate on Cowboys.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this blocking highlight that they're showing, but I'll take it, I guess. Jason Witten, was he really known for his blocking like that?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I won't hate.
I will. All right, so the Rams are on the clock. This is the Rams' first pick of the draft. They said F them picks.
Kings of the second round. They sold for that ring.
And they should have. I'd sell my soul for a ring.
Yeah, I guess you would.
Whoa.
Man. Because y'all lost to the man, Patty Mahomes.
I don't want to talk about it. Yo, last night, I'll say this is more hate in my heart. When the Eagles announced the pick, they brought out the Travis and Jason's mom, which was cool. But then they brought out the dudes from Dude Perfect. Yo, shut up and just announce the pick. I don't care what you did for her.
That's hate. Nah,
That is
that's
a
hate.
whole lot of hate.
You got to let it go, my brother. The Chiefs were the better team.
I'm not. No, yeah, they were. I'm just saying, like we're here to announce the pick, man.
The Chiefs were the better team. This is the Rams' 7th consecutive draft without a first-round pick.
That is impressive.
That's crazy.
That's impressive.
They've been in the playoffs for most of those years, though.
Yeah, like it's. I know people hate on how the Rams run their organization, but I mean they've been rather successful.
If I'm the Rams, I'm taking the best offensive lineman available. I'm not going to hold you. I think if you look at one of the Rams' down points last year, they had the most offensive line starting lineups last year. So I definitely think some depth at the offensive line would be good. Outside of that, I mean, I could maybe see them taking a wide receiver here. Or quiet as kept, I could definitely see the Rams taking a quarterback. Like a Hendon Hooker type player.
Because Matthew Stafford is long in the tooth. Might be time to start thinking about life after Matt.
It might be time to start thinking about life after Matt. So, pick 36 is in. Man, I wish these picks would start going a little faster. You gotta take them a little longer.
Oh, we're gonna be here all night.
I know. The Rams, I forgot they lost Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner. Man. They were 5-12 last year. Can you believe that? A Super Bowl winning team two years ago.
I think what's even sadder is that they were third in the NFC West with that record.
Who finished dead last?
Was it Arizona? It was Arizona.
Oh man, Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury. Sad. He's at USC now, isn't he?
I believe he is. I think he went to Thailand, hung out with the joints, came back and was like, I'm gonna go back to California. And I ain't mad at him.
I don't know if you've been paying attention, but they've been doing the new Fast and Furious commercials. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched a few of them, and I've honestly had to stop myself or had to force myself to stop laughing because like they selling us anything at this point.
They were in space in the last movie. Space.
And this one, they got Jason Momoa as the bad guy. And he's like this unhinged supervillain. Son, like, what are we doing?
So I watched the last one when they introduced John Cena as Dom's brother.
Yeah.
There was one scene they're running. I think they're in London. They're somewhere overseas. And Vin Diesel, however old he is running roof to roof in Tim's. And I was like, what are we doing here? He jumping from building to building in Tim's in Butters, running a 4.3.
Remember when he stomped on the parking deck and brought everything down?
He said the streets win.
Yeah, the
streets
win.
Never lose.
They never lose. All right, people. Pick 36 is in the house. Los Angeles Rams select. Tell me, Torrey Holt. Steve Avila, guard, TCU. See?
We chugging beers for drafting guards. Who are these people?
I'm on to something over here, man. I might know something about the draft. I might know something about the draft. This pick makes a lot of sense. This was a team that had a lot of different starting lineup combinations last year, so I definitely make sense when you think about what they're trying to do. This is I think this is a Rams team with Sean McVay that wants to run the football. Obviously, in order to do that, you need your offensive line healthy. So this definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And I think it's a good pick. Obviously, we saw the success TCU had last year. So makes sense.
Hey, you know what? Price of Cam Akers just went up for anyone in our Dynasty League. If anyone's interested, brick just went up.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Next on the clock for pick 37 is the Seattle Seahawks. Really curious to see if they trade this pick.
They had a great first round, by the way.
Yeah. Bump
Oh
them.
damn, the pick is in. They wasted no time. Who
All right,
fell?
Seattle knows who they want. Seattle knows who they want.
So
Tell me.
Seattle did tell Gino that there's a possibility they could draft a quarterback. Do you think they might draft Herndon Hooker? I'm gonna say his name every time.
It's Hendon Hooker, by the way.
Hendon, thank you.
Uh, I
Herndon. What kind of Herndon is a very old name?
I could potentially see it, but Jared Goff is playing really well, so
You mean Gino?
maybe. Oh, I'm not Gino. Gino Smith is playing very well, so I don't know.
Yeah, look at Booger. Booger drip. Fantastic. Look at all them bald black men on TV. Hey, look at it. No? Why can't the bald men get some love?
Yo, no, shout out to the Ball brothers out here. Kyle says he's old enough to remember when Fast and the Furious was about dudes jacking trucks for DVD players.
Crazy. And now
Yeah.
they're going into space. Okay.
It just came a long way. They with the 37th pick in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks take Derek Hall, D end from Auburn. I like that pick. I think it's a pretty good pick. I think he was
he going with
yeah,
the shirtless profile. All right,
yeah.
dog.
He was a pretty good player at Auburn. I think he's gonna be really good for him. I think Seattle's they're trying to make a little comeback. I see, you got to see the vision that Pete Carroll's trying to do over there. I think Pete Carroll heard the disrespect from the Russell Wilson trade, and I think now he's trying to make amends. He got him in the playoffs last year. Now I think he's thinking he can. This is a team that can try to go all the way.
Yeah, he's definitely building this team into the image of the old Legion of Boom. Oh,
How
Colts trade
about
to the
this?
Falcons.
The Colts trade the pick 38 to the Falcons. So they probably got laughed at yesterday for using the number 8 overall pick on a running back, and here they come.
So can we talk about that for a second? I am not a fan of drafting running backs that high, but let me tell you something. I love Bijan in Atlanta. Like the NFC South is weak, man. Like if you already have an elite secondary, now you have the potential to have an elite offense of Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and now Bijan. Why the hell not? Why not? What do we have to lose?
No, I mean I like it. I mean, I guess we'll see. I think. Are they doing all this to ensure that they're surrounding Desmond Ridder with the most complete offensive skill position players because they believe he's the guy? If that's the case, then I like these moves. But if they're doing that to set up the next quarterback and eventually get rid of Desmond Ridder, I'm not a fan of that.
I think they're taking the same approach Philadelphia did last year. Let's surround our quarterback with elite playmakers and let him, if he can prove to us he's the guy, then great. And if not, then we have the pieces to go get the guy.
I think that this Atlanta Falcons team is a team that takes Marvin Mims, wide receiver Oklahoma.
Man, that'd be fire. Come on, man. An offense with Pitts, Mims, Drake, even though the Falcons have been drafting big-bodied receivers, adding a little speedster. Man, come on, dog. Falcons win NFC. If they take Marvin Mims, they win NFC South.
You're confident in the NFC South winner being the Atlanta Falcons?
Dog, the NFC South is weak. Like the best quarterback in the NFC South right now is Derek Carr.
You say that like Derek Carr's a scrub.
He's not a scrub, but in the totality of NFL quarterbacks, how many people out here raising their hand to take Derek Carr?
Derek Carr's a really good quarterback if
he does not push the ball down the field. You got to throw deep.
You say that, yet he's always near the top of the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns most years.
But that includes yak. Like that is so if he throws a bubble screen that goes 97 yards, that counts as passing yards.
Oh, brother. All right, John Abraham. Pick 38, the Atlanta Falcons select.
Another ball black man. Yo, we out tonight. We in these streets.
Yeah, we outside. Matthew Bergeron, offensive tackle from Syracuse. So they buff up the offensive line to help complement.
Where is he at?
He's in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
So they're buffing up the offensive line, I guess, to help with their newfound star running back in Bijan Robinson.
Telling you, man, we're gonna surround Desmond with elite playmakers and a great offensive line. And if he's it, that's great. If he's not it, we can go get it.
6'5", 318.
Jesus, man. How do you
Man.
make humans that big?
Hey, meat and potatoes.
That's
Meat and potatoes. Lord have mercy.
All right, Jamie. Have a good night.
Later,
Catch you
Jamie.
later.
Thank you for pulling up. Kyle says, to Danny's credit, Carr was the worst QB in his division last year. Okay, but Kyle, come on now. Well, no, Kyle, you're wrong because I think that was Russell Wilson.
No, Kyle said, hell no. He want to jump in. What's up, Kyle?
Well, Matthew Bergeron, Canadian, first Canadian drafted this year, so I thought it's time for this Canadian to make an appearance. And yeah, I'd be taking over 8 anyway.
Now
but I wanted to join
Kyle.
you guys. I love talking with you too. So
What's
I
up,
just had
Kyle?
to join.
How's it going?
Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on, even though I just sort of invited myself in.
No,
you're always welcome, man.
Appreciate it, boys. But yeah, there's I was looking back. The record for Canadians drafted is 4 in one single draft. As recently as 2 years ago, 2021, we had Javon Hargrave, or not Hargrave, Javon Dolphins defensive back, Javon Holland.
Okay.
Josh Palmer, Chuba Hubbard, and then Benjamin Saint-Just from Washington. So 4 Canadians that year. There might be more this year. Like Matthew Bergeron was almost a first-round pick. But yeah, the Brown brothers, Sidney and Chase. There's a few other players too that are expected to get drafted. So we could hit 5 Canadians. Maybe not today, but
Chuba was
tomorrow.
from Canada.
So yeah, thought it was time for me to make the appearance. And the Packers are coming up too. So I'm sure D and I will either celebrate together or we'll need our love and support.
Well, Kyle, I'm glad you brought that up. Where do you think the Packers go with their pick, their first pick in the second round?
I was liking what you were saying. If they didn't take Jackson Smith and Jigba in the first round, it's because they feel like they can get a wide receiver here. So, I mean, there's quite a few available. I think Jalen Hyatt, Josh Downs, both kind of bring dimensions that the Packers don't really have on the team. So I'd be ideally happy with either of those two. The problem with Cedric Tillman and Mims is they kind of are just worse versions of Christian Watson, it seems. So I think Downs and Hyatt brings things to the Packers receiver room they don't have right now.
And what would that be?
Well, Hyatt, I think, is the speed, the deep threat you can, and I mean, Watson has speed as well, but you really want Hyatt to clear the safety deep to open things up for Watson. Because the way I see it, D, I don't know how you see it, but Christian Watson to me is the alpha of this wide receiver room. The only one that maybe could have come in was if we're going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba and build the offense around him. But short of doing that, you got to think they're building this offense around Christian Watson. So a guy like Hyatt could open things up deep for Watson, or Downs as that elite slot receiver. And we know how much Matt LaFleur loves to design routes to target the slot receiver. So personally,
what do you think they do with Romeo Doubs then?
I think Doubs, well, and you're right. I guess Doubs could play on the outside. So maybe Hyatt is the Doubs could play in the slots. Maybe Hyatt on the outside is a better fit. So, but I think Doubs can play on the outside though. Last year, just seeing his route running from the outside when he and Cobb are on the field at the same time, they usually put Cobb in the slot. I think Doubs can win on the outside though. So I prefer Josh Downs to Hyatt. I like that sort of setup, thinking that I suppose either way, if they're taking two second round receivers, Watson and whoever they take this year, that's like the main 2 weapons of the offense, and Doubs is gonna always be third fiddle.
Yeah, fair enough. What about at pick 39, Carolina Panthers? What do you think they come back with after getting their guy Bryce Young, number 1 overall yesterday?
I guess thinking of their biggest needs, is it wide receiver to, Thielen, Chark, Terrace Marshall, Hayden Hurst? It feels like they can add to that. So maybe they go with the Jalen Hyatt, or maybe they like the big body Cedric Tillman.
I could also see them potentially going running back. I know they lost Dante Foreman last year. I think he signed with the Bears. But
they just paid Miles Sanders. So
that's true, but Miles Sanders doesn't stay healthy, nor is he. I don't think he's as dependable.
Well, and I mentioned his name just a few minutes ago. They still have Chuba Hubbard only halfway through his rookie contract, and honestly, the game. Well, I think this like Foreman's big breakout game was this 2 weeks after they traded McCaffrey. The first week after they traded McCaffrey, Hubbard got the start, and Hubbard was actually doing good, and then he got hurt, and then Foreman came in the game late. Then he got that next week all to himself, and he exploded. I think that might have been his 3 touchdown game, and then he didn't really look back. But their initial plan was Hubbard's our guy, not Foreman. Like, we're going to start the game with Hubbard, and it wasn't until he got hurt in that first game that Foreman really started to come on. So I think they have enough faith in the Sanders-Hubbard tandem that I don't see them drafting in the second round, considering that they had to kind of use some pick depth to trade up to get Bryce Young. You figure they're going to have to. A running back at this point is a luxury pick. Like, they really have to. It seems like there are bigger needs, and if wide receiver is a bigger need than running back in today's NFL, you really need to address that, I feel.
And that's exactly what they did. They drafted Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver, Ole Miss. I think the comp for him is A.J. Brown-ish. Yes, 6'1", 220. It's a big man.
Now look at that. Jonathan Mingo, not bad at all, though.
Yeah. Second team all SEC. Man, Ole Miss is low. I know we talk about Ohio State as wide receiver U, but Ole Miss has really turned out a lot of decent wide receivers the past couple of years. You got DK, AJ. That's all I got.
Something about the SEC and wide receivers.
Damn, that's crazy. How do you guys feel about, speaking of that, how do you feel about Addison and Justin Jefferson?
I like it.
I think it could be a good duo. I think it could be a good duo. Kyle, do you see Addison playing more on the inside or on the outside? I see him more in the slot, just given his more slender in nature. But I could also see him on the opposite of Jay Jefferson running some routes.
Well, they'll play Jefferson from the slot too. Like, I could see it being. There's not really one main slot receiver. They'll just move both. Like, if they want to play two wide receiver sets, they're both on the outside. If they bring in KJ Osborne to be one of those perimeter receivers, they can move either Jefferson or Addison into the slot. And maybe, to get Addison acclimated as a rookie, you play him more in the slot there to start. And then as he gets more experience, move him to the outside, because, Jefferson can win anywhere.
Yeah.
I could see it being, if Vikings are creative, they're not just going to play a stock offense and always have the same guys lined up everywhere. If they're going to be smart about it, you're going to move guys around, confuse the defense.
As someone who has KJ Osborne in Dynasty, I really do hope that he's able to take advantage of the departure of Adam Thielen and really make a name for himself as wide receiver too.
You might want to just go ahead and drop KJ Osborne into free agency.
Nah, I don't think I will, big dog.
You're not gonna do it. I gotta shed some roster space.
I have a salary cap contract league with Osborne. He's got 1 year left, and it's like $4 million on the cap hit. The salary cap's the same as the NFL cap, so minimum contract is $500,000, which isn't exactly what it is in the NFL, but it's a nice round number for us. But 8 times the minimum. If I cut him, it saves half. So I'm considering, if I can't trade Osborne right now, I probably will just cut him for that. But in a conventional dynasty league, I guess it would depend. I would say, like, the all money in league I'm in with both of you, a little shallower than some other dynasty leagues I'm in. So that would be the type of league where I probably would cut Osborne. Because I've got leagues where we have like 35 roster spots. At that point, there's players way worse than KJ Osborne.
Yeah.
You're picking up to fill the back end of your roster. So, like, that context will matter.
Question: how are you in a league with a salary cap? How does that work?
Oh, well, so Reality Sports Online is its own format. So it's not like you can't do the leagues on Sleeper. So you play it on their website and their format. And they track all the player contract informations. We do rookie drafts conventionally, like we're about to do after this NFL draft. But then the startup draft, instead of it being a snake draft, it's an auction draft. So you're using the money.
Oh, it's like a betting system.
A little bit like betting,
like a bidding system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they've got a quick auction. I think they've kind of recently developed a slow auction, but it's we've always done it with, like, 15-second timers on each bid, kind of thing. And you just you've got your cap space for the year. The rookie contracts are allocated to, like, they'll be cheap relative to the big contracts and their cost control for 4 years. So, like, the advantage of having rookie picks is not just to get the rookies, but to have players on rookie contracts. So kind of have to balance that out. I would say that almost relative to, say, our all money in league, that certainly elevates the value of the rookie picks.
Okay.
Not bad.
The
Saints with pick 40 take Isaiah Foskey, DN from Notre Dame, with their second round pick. Could be, man, this guy's a monster.
I will say I'm not a Notre Dame guy, but there's something about the Notre Dame uniform that just makes guys look bigger.
I mean, they got pretty uniforms. I'm not going to hold you.
Like maybe
I
it's
don't
the
know.
navy
I
blue.
don't know why folks hate on their uniforms. They got pretty uniforms.
I mean,
Hey.
I don't hate the uniforms. I just say they make people look big.
I mean, the Packers knockoff versions of them look awful when they do the throwbacks, but that's a Packers problem, not a Notre Dame problem. The Notre Dame
Yeah,
originals
no,
look
those
awesome.
things look god awful. But
You guys gonna bring those
the thing
back?
about this, Kyle, the Packers are just one of those teams where it's just I don't know if they really have a good alternate uniform.
No, their original, their main one is so good that anything else just doesn't look as good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you guys do
I
have some nice
agree. The
uniforms.
Saints are definitely spending a lot of draft capital this year on beefing up the defensive line, but I guess
because they trying to stop the Falcons.
But it's also in their DNA. If you think about the type of defense that they run, they're a team that prides themselves on stopping the run, and being a physical defensive line. So here we go. The Cardinals will pick 41 is in. Kyle, the Packers are on deck with their pick, so we're getting close to it.
Yeah, there's quite a few receivers I still like, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you guys want to pick up someone? See,
I mean, like if they take Tillman or Mims, I'd rather Downs or Hyatt, but I don't think it's like a reach in terms of value. I mean, you're adding to the wide receiver room. If you want to go with all that big body types, then that's fine too. So I think I'd be fine with honestly any of those four, which means I'm probably not taking a receiver.
What do you think of Jaden Reed?
He would be next on my list. So if I did have to go down to a fifth guy, I like him. I guess almost as much as Tillman and Mims. Again, I really want Downs or Hyatt.
I really hate how I can't wait till we get to the point in the draft where the picks are announced. It doesn't matter what's going on. Oh, hey, Gladys.
I love that song.
Glad
people
to
say
hear
that
it.
a lot when you jump on.
Like
people say
not,
that.
No, because not many people know that song.
Okay,
You are the OG, my friend.
I do what I
Yeah,
can.
he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
How are
How's
you?
it going, Gladys?
Steelers picked Joey Porter. Everything is good in my world right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Broderick Jones, Joey Porter. You must be ecstatic about that.
My girl parts are very happy right now.
All right.
Yes. Of course, Will Levis going to Tennessee. Don't care. Don't care at all.
So the Cardinals and the Titans never made that trade.
No, not for Nuke. Nuke is still a Cardinal right now.
Yeah.
For now.
Nuke. Where do you think he's going?
It's funny in our Dynasty League. Greg has Tyler Algier, and he claims he's also about to draft Bijan Robinson #1 overall. That's why he changed his name to Bijan. And I don't think he will.
You've got the handcuff, right? Like it's you don't have to trade for the handcuff.
Yeah.
In that salary cap contract league I was referencing, I just got an offer for Tyler Algier. Someone wants me to sell him for the 409. And at this point, it's like running backs are hard to come by. I'm probably not getting a better running back than Algier at 409. So I may as well just not hope for a Bijan injury, but like that's the upside with Algier, right? Is if Bijan ever gets hurt, he's right back into he gets 20 carries a game if he has to take over for a game or two. So probably one of the more valuable handcuffs in the NFL. So I think that's more valuable than the 409 and any of the players I'd get there.
D, what's your favorite pick so far?
Say it.
Do it.
Honestly, I like what the Eagles have been doing.
Yeah, talk to me. Yeah.
I also like Anthony Richardson to the Colts. I think Anthony Richardson to the Colts is going to be a good pick. He was my best QB in draft. Maybe I was alone in that one, but
I'm with you, baby.
Here we go. I mean, we'll see what he can do in the AFC South. Bryce Young, congratulations! You get to see the Saints twice a year. So,
well, I mean, in the first 5 picks, you're like Houston is winning this draft, and then Philadelphia is like, nah, just hold my beer. We're gonna take the two, probably best defensive guys that we can, and we're already stacked on defense. So bring it on, people.
And for the who do the Texans have in terms of pass catchers?
Nico Collins, the recently signed Dalton
Mechie.
Schultz, John Mechie. Yeah,
I have him in Dynasty.
Stop it. Both
I
of
think
you.
I've got a share as well.
Stop it.
I got quite a bit of Nico Collins, to be honest. So I'm really banking on the big Nico Collins target season this year.
It's gonna be great.
Pick 41 from the Arizona Cardinals is in, and they take BJ Ajulari, a linebacker from LSU.
Ooh.
You know what's great? Whenever it doesn't matter who's picked, they go to the fans, and all the fans are excited. It's like you have no idea
Idea who this guy is.
Like
Exactly.
you have no
Yeah,
idea.
no
Like
idea.
first round, okay, you have an idea, but most of you guys don't know who these people are.
He from Marietta, okay. All right.
Oh, LSU boy.
Went to LSU. Nothing wrong with that.
Listen, man.
Kyle, I mean, is this it? Is this where they rectify themselves?
I mean, I think they're, again, wide receiver. I mean, again, they were mocked tight ends so much in the first round. I'm really glad they didn't take one in the first round. And I still think they could wait around and get one in the third. But if they're going to get a pass catcher, I suppose I'm fine with it here.
Who do you wait?
Darnell Washington, please.
Yes.
That would be the tight end I'd like to have. Yeah.
I
But I
can't
think
believe he
they
hasn't
can,
been
like,
taken.
they can
yet.
maybe wait around and get Zach Kuntz. But
I
like
can't believe
that's
Laporta went ahead of him.
yeah, Sam Laporta, surprisingly the second tight end drafted.
Yeah.
So I don't know that a lot of people had that.
On their bingo card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that looked like my sister's house.
Where? What are you talking about? Oh,
The
Ojulera's
pick
house
is in.
Yeah.
The pick
is
is in.
Okay.
Packers.
Darnell
Yeah.
Washington, please. If it's Darnell Washington, I'll draft him 104 on Sunday.
Really?
Nah, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was like, that's bold.
Isn't it next Sunday? Not this Sunday, right?
Yeah, it is next Sunday.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you've got a full week.
I got a full week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know who I'm taking at 208. We'll see if he's
Wait, what
there.
are we talking about? Is this something I should know about?
Yeah, well, D commissions a dynasty league. We're all in
Okay.
together.
Oh, like we all
Luke
you mean-
Musgrave,
Yeah.
tight
Tight
end
end.
from Oregon State.
Hey,
Like they don't know who he is. Like they're just in there drunk.
Well, so to me, there were 5 guys with like relative athletic scores that you could maybe characterize as athletic freaks. And while Kuntz and Washington were the 2 that were at the top of that list, Musgrave was 4th,
Okay.
9.78. So still high athletic tight end. So I like that. Like that, I didn't want them to take certainly Mayer because I feel like he's not. We're talking about he's kind of like Jason Witten, not that athletic tight end. So I felt like that would have been a huge reach at 13. But to get the reason to be a huge reach is because you can still get some of these uber athletic guys here in the second round. So if they're going to pass on wide receiver again, I suppose it makes sense. As much as I'm someone who hates rookie tight ends, this also does seem like a class where it's unusually athletic. Like we usually don't have this many guys that are uber elite athletes. You might get 1 or 2, but not usually like 5 like this. And even Laporta was over a 9 as well. And like you've got about maybe another like total of half dozen guys above 9. So,
Or maybe they're thinking they can take someone at 45.
I was gonna say you guys are picking in 2 more spots. Like the receivers
true.
are still there.
yeah. And I think they're just seeing all the tight ends go off the board right now. And that's the guy they wanted.
So, I mean, you guys it started off rough. I know last night was hard, but it's coming back.
Like I don't know if I'm probably taking Luke Musgrave ahead of Michael Mayer in a rookie draft, but again, I'm almost a slave to the athleticism when it comes to tight ends because there's really nothing else to go off of. It's who do we think are going to get the targets? We don't know that until we see them in season getting targets. So yeah, I'd probably take Musgrave as the second tight end off the board right now, waiting to see, of course, where Darnell Washington goes. Hello, Dan.
What's good?
Hey, it's 8 p.m. So I guess it's the officially the 2-point conversion time slot. We're fusing the 2-point conversion with the Speak On It podcast, and Danny and D, of course, welcome to stay as much as possible.
How about these guys cracking 100 next week? How good's that?
Oh yeah, episode 100. That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thanks
Wow, I was
for mentioning.
literally talking about it. Yeah, my bad. Damn,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good job mentioning that shit, Kyle. It's like half your show, right? Like you don't even fucking mention it. 100 episodes, you say nothing. The fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I figured you'd say it so much better, so I waited for you. Clearly.
Damn, Kyle. Damn.
Well, we do without Dan, right?
That's what I mean.
That's the question.
Excited? Are you excited about the Giants? Like you didn't
I'm
blow
happy.
it.
No, I mean we did all right last year, but I like the look. Obviously, if you're entering a season with Adoree Jackson as your number 1 cornerback, it's probably not a good sign, right? Like we did last year. And they said, they said today that this is a guy that they've been looking at since 2021.
They're going to take a wide receiver.
No. Oh, the Jets, maybe.
Jets are going to take a wide receiver.
They need an offensive lineman.
Maybe. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy with what the Giants did. I think everyone's got to be kind of happy with what everyone's. I mean, unless you want.
Yep, they took an offensive lineman.
Detroit was getting dragged through the mud.
Joe Tipman.
Center.
That is a name. That is a name.
Especially for an offensive lineman, you right?
The double entendres there go crazy.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
Joe double put the tip man.
Oh,
Whoa.
Whoa. All right.
He's going crazy.
I mean,
Yo, what was that?
The Jets have the best names for offensive linemen, right? Like DeBrickashaw Ferguson, still probably the greatest name in all of football history.
UVA's finest.
Yeah.
The move to Brickashaw Ferguson, yeah.
Like you name your son DeBrickashaw, like yeah, he's a left tackle. Like there's no other thing you can do in your life. Like you can't be a rocket scientist. No, you're gonna be a left tackle.
Got paid pretty well.
It'd be a good name for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Building the
If
wall.
you take Anthony Richardson with pick 4, who do you double back with and take in the second round?
Wait, what
And
now?
then Hooker.
The Colts, their D line's good. I mean,
They need help. Listen, you can't go past. What do they got? They got Michael Pittman, and that's it, right?
yeah.
They need receivers like a hole in the head.
They have Alec Pierce, the great Alec Pierce that I know Dan loves.
Like you want he's like mid. That's like terrible. He's mid. He's
a young receiver. Give him some time. He played at a great program in Ohio.
He's useful, right, Alec Pierce? If you went to like Target and bought some like Converse,
Oh my God.
you need them. You need a pair. Sure, they're like $30. That's what Alec Pierce is a $30 pair of Cons from Target.
So for reference sake, I tried to sell Dan the 206 and Alec Pierce for Christian Kirk, and yeah.
Get out of town.
He said
Get out of here.
I mean, you seem like you the 206 okay, you just want more than just the 206. And you seem to have no, like, Alec Pierce has no value whatsoever.
Let's do this trade right now. Let's work it out.
He needs help. He needs more than help. He needs help with this one.
Here we go. The pick is in for the Colts.
Kyle's evaluation's a little off at the moment, so I'm gonna just put it down to off-season blues.
I might be looking to adopt an orphan dynasty league. I might look around.
You paused at the wrong time there, my friend. You had me there for a second.
Kyle,
I thought you were in a charitable work, but clearly not.
Kyle, what's it going to take to get CD Lamb?
Well, I sent an offer to Gerson, so if Gerson rejects it and all those, if I can't get Justin Jefferson with him, then I might be willing to talk to other people about CeeDee Lamb.
Wow.
Oh, he rejected it, actually. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I guess Danny's team. Oh, Danny's team.
I'm having problems tonight. This is not off to a good start. My God. So what's happened so far? I've missed like nearly everything. Carolina took a receiver, right? Was it Mingo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high. That's high for him.
To be the fifth receiver, yeah, a little surprising. Probably be closer to like the 10th receiver, but
I thought that's good for him, right? But damn, that's early.
Gerson, right? Yeah, I should send that link to Gerson too.
Show me the money. Oh, I forgot the Colts added Gardner Minshew, so Anthony Richardson might not even need to start.
Right.
Week 1.
I don't think he's going to start week 1.
As someone who watched Gardner Minshew play 2 games last year, yeah, Anthony Richardson's going to have to start by week 5.
Come on now. By week 5? Yeah, by week 5.
Street's not going to watch Gardner Minshew stink up the joint. Nah.
You don't know that. I've seen Minshew mania. Why you hating? See, that's hate.
I watched him lose to the Saints and throw a pick 6 to Marshawn Lattimore.
Yo, why you be playing the Saints like they some bums, yo?
Are you saying the booty jorts aren't going to fly in Indianapolis? That's what you're saying?
I mean, that they will, but not on the field.
Yeah.
He can go live in his RV outside of Lucas Oil. That's cool, but hey, man.
Off to Purdue he goes. No worries.
What if the Colts do some shit like take a running back right here?
Oh, my God.
They need a receiver. They got
especially if it's Zach Charbonnet, that'll just anger me so much.
That would be what's this?
Minshew Mania.
Quarterback.
Didn't he beat the Cowboys? You see, I don't know if
No, he
Gerson.
lost.
That's what I'm thinking. I thought they lost. I don't know if Gerson's like doing that on purpose or he got confused. Like
He
or
played
just trying to
well
stick it
against
to-
Dallas, but he lost.
The Colts are taking Julius Brents,
Cornerback.
cornerback from Kansas State.
Again, they don't know who he is. Why are you so excited? You have no idea who he is.
We got a player as opposed to just not taking someone. Hooray!
Right. Like you don't know who. All right.
He doesn't look like he bags groceries.
Right. Oh,
he looks like he's an
6'2".
athletic individual.
Cornerback.
He's a pretty big corner too.
Yeah.
Matched up well against Quentin Johnson, I guess, in the Big 12 championship. I remember that.
Dude,
yeah.
a lot of people matched up well against Quentin Johnston. Come on now.
Oh.
It's true. He was like highly erratic. You know it's true.
Pow.
You know it's true.
All right. So the Colt. I mean, Green Bay's on the clock again.
No, Detroit's on.
D.
No,
Oh,
it's a
they-
trade. A trade. Lions are on the clock.
Damn. Sorry, guys.
The Packers just traded with the Lions.
They're not messing around. Great. Detroit,
Well, you know what? They know
They
the
did this
Lions.
last year.
Everything the Lions have done
Yeah.
so far this year in the draft is mess it up. So they're like, okay, yeah, they'll
Yeah,
reach
we're
again
good.
on someone we didn't
We're
even have
good.
on our board.
hang on. They
Yeah,
did
what
this
are you
last
guys
year.
watching? ABC is way behind.
Detroit
I'm
did
watching-
this last year.
I'm watching the NFL draft tracker on NFL.com. That's it. Like
I'm watching the NFL Network.
I'm not actually watching anything.
No. Okay.
NFL
Yeah.
Network.
ESPN just announced it. Man, get me out of here.
All right, so Jamie's back. Where did he leave? So far, Jamie, there's been 4 offensive players taken in the second round. I guess 5 if you count Will Levis, but we'll maybe leave.
No, we're
him
not counting
aside.
Will Levis.
Jonathan
Okay.
Mingo went to the Panthers, and then 3 tight ends: Sam Laporta to the Lions, Michael Mayer to the Raiders, and Luke Musgrave to the Packers.
I'm
Man,
saying
he,
that if the NFL teams just wanted to say, hey, don't even worry about tight ends for fantasy this year or next year or the year after, they did it with where they landed, where all those tight ends landed. It's like
What did-
you have no fantasy value whatsoever. What, Jam?
That's great.
Do the Lions take a wide receiver to replace Jamison Williams, who might be gone for
Ah!
6?
You mean the
6 or 7
Jameson Williams
games?
that I picked up in best ball the day before he got suspended? That Jameson Williams.
What's wrong with these guys in gambling? You just can't gamble.
And I heard he gambled
Yo.
in the stadium. Like he was in the stadium when he was gambling.
Can't gamble, man.
Danny, you know what? This makes me laugh because remember there was a time where I was trying to trade a first or a second round pick in later years for Jamison Williams, and someone told me no.
A blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise.
Who told you no?
I think it was that Bam.
No,
No,
he doesn't
Bam-
have.
Bam-
I've tried to get Jameson a couple of times. I forgot who has him, but no, it wasn't
It
Bam.
might have been Rojo.
He's one of the few players I haven't tried to trade for in the league.
Yeah.
Yo,
I know I did. I offered Christian Watson. I offered Bam Christian Watson for a first round pick next year, and he said no. And I was like, oh wow.
T.
Okay.
That's damn.
He must not have faith in Jordan Love,
Hmm.
which I can perhaps understand.
Do you have faith in
I
Jordan?
got faith in him.
I mean, I have faith that Jordan Love can operate an offense and that Watson will be fine for fantasy. Can Jordan Love win the Super Bowl? That's where my faith sort of diminishes greatly.
Did Aaron Rodgers? How many Super Bowls did Rodgers win?
One, and he's so much more amazing than Love. So if like it's tough to win a
Jesus,
Super Bowl, so
Gladys.
I just don't know if Love is good enough to do it. Frankly,
true.
With as
I
many
mean-
great quarterbacks there are in the NFL,
But
right
the
now,
Jets are going to win the Super Bowl because they have Aaron Rodgers now. What?
No,
that would be
Oh,
so
I
Jets.
watched it.
That would be the most Bills thing ever. Is the Jets get there before they do? That would be hilarious.
Oh God. So
The
Who's
Jets
it?
are going to go from a 7-win to an 8-win team. It's very good.
right,
I
it's
love
gonna be
it.
great.
It's I'm glad I live here. They're just they're gonna just ruin him out here. It's just gonna be non-stop. It's fantastic. I
Yeah.
love the New York media. They're so fun. They're great.
Ask Zach Wilson.
Does Larry Brooks cover football? Because I would love to see Rodgers yell at Brooksy like John Tortorella used to do.
I don't know who he is. What?
Okay, I think he mostly covers hockey. That's why John Tortorella was yelling at him.
Oh, we got hockey.
I didn't know if Brooksy was like a specific hockey writer, just like a sports media writer. So you might also cover other New York sports. I'm not really sure.
Who's
Uh,
Sosa?
Is this Izzy?
That would be my friend Izzy. Yes.
Okay.
Izzy, get a picture on there, buddy.
I thought it was Chief Keef.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. We can't see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I'm a work in progress. Next week, you have photos. You have everything. I got you. I don't know how this works right now. I just got to work. I got you.
Okay.
Well, we're
Well,
glad to hear from you, Izzy. So
yeah.
thanks for
Yeah,
joining.
Izzy. Just it's
Happy
like
birthday,
one,
Izzy.
Oh yeah, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you.
there's
Thank you for the birthday.
there's one button that says camera, and you push it, it works. It's mind blowing.
Hey, leave me alone.
It's all good,
Leave him
brother.
alone. It's his birthday.
Nah.
It is his birthday. It's his birthday. I'll let him have this one
Thank
today.
you.
Happy birthday to
you.
you.
Happy birthday.
Izzy's Jets are doing all right. We were just giving the Jets a bit of grief, but
Are they, though?
he seems to be in a
Are
good
they?
mood.
Really?
He's all right. He's happy.
Before we go, who do the Lions take at pick 45?
They're still like
A punter. They about to draft a punter.
That would be very Lions. I'd like that.
They
Well-
need Jesus. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I didn't hear him declare for the draft. It might be
Yeah,
too late.
I
he would have
don't know.
gone already by this point. He wouldn't have fallen this far.
I think they're about to take a corner if they haven't already.
So I have a funny Lions anecdote, and I was looking this up just so I could use it to rip on the Lions as much as possible anytime I have the opportunity. They last won an
I don't
NFL
think you're in a
championship
position to do so.
in 1957. I looked it up. December of 1957, the number one song in the United States was Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley. So
Oh,
God.
he was still in the green room. Yay! No, the guy the Lions picked. Brian Branch, the cornerback from Alabama.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, that's big. That's
Yeah.
a nice.
Huh, they drafted him as a corner,
good.
whereas I thought coming out it sounded like he would declare as a safety, but it also
Good
seemed
for
like as a
him.
safety
I know,
he could play
right?
nickel and he could do a few
You
things.
go,
So.
Brian. I'm so glad.
Damn it, Howie.
I'll be honest. I thought we were on for this guy because we've lost every safety that's kind of there. I thought he might swing to and from,
Mhm.
so I thought we might have been in for him. I think who do we have? We lost Love to Seattle. I think we had Landon Collins at one point last year. I don't even know if he's still back. So I thought this young lad was going to be with us.
What was the number
But,
one
they went
song the
elsewhere,
last
but-
time the Packers won a Super Bowl? Shit.
Well, 2010. I mean, we could look that up, but
Probably Katy Perry.
Oh,
the Black Eyed
yeah.
Peas played at
That's the
that
thing.
halftime show. So
We were down.
The number one
we were
song
down.
the last time the
Katy
Browns won a
Perry's-
championship.
That's a good shout.
Honestly, Jamie, I'm just gonna assume because it was the '60s, it was a Beatles song. I think that like whatever Beatles song was popular in '64. So
Dude,
I'm just gonna
how
say it's
much-
a Beatles song.
How much balls does it take to come back to the green room when you're not picked in the first round?
A lot.
I
But
know,
he
right?
said- He said, I'm
Probably
walking
less
this
than it
age.
does to take
Yeah, he
like,
did.
football, though, right? Like these guys are football players. Like the stuff that they're gonna face on the field, it's like okay, whatever.
No,
The
I don't think
media
it is. I don't think it is okay. Whatever. You saw the reaction CJ Stroud had yesterday when he got picked.
Oh,
This-
it's
this
devastating,
means a
but they
lot.
also know that like their life's in danger every time they step on the football field, and they can't really flinch at that either. And they're still choosing to go in this profession. So, like, not to say it's not upsetting, but like, I'm sure all these players have had upsetting moments with losses in their careers. Like, they can't get this far without knowing to overcome that.
I don't know. The anticipation for this.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you've
It's
got
on the
agents
phone.
on the
This is your
phone.
whole career starting,
Listen,
right?
we've
Yeah.
got- You've been doing the whole song and dance. You've been touring. You've been showing
Yeah.
off. You've been putting on your Sunday finest for these people, having your interviews with them, and
Can
then
we just talk about Will Levis
and then
in
here
the
we
green
go.
room with like 4 different women, like interchangeable? Like one time he's with a blonde, the next time he's with
Horrible.
like a dark.
You went-
What the fuck was going
It
on?
was horrible.
Hey,
He said you got to keep
hey,
them bangs on them.
Yeah, hold on
You
now.
went-
We're not gonna
you
hate
went-
on Will for that.
Oh my
He need to
god!
fire his
Are you-
agent. His agent needs to be fired. He should never have been first round.
No.
I give it to him. He's a good guy, like a good player, but he had a bad senior season. I don't know
Yeah.
why they even gave him the right to even be in that room.
But I mean,
That's
every
kinda
time you saw him,
crazy.
like there's like 3 girls around him rubbing his back, and then there's a dark-haired girl rubbing his back. I'm like, who are these? Did he like hire these chicks to come in and like sit around him so he looks like a big baller?
I like
Who are-
that. I
What?
like to be around the back.
Maybe. We can hate on Will Levis for a lot of things, but I ain't hating him on that.
I mean, it is funny that the NFL didn't let Quentin Johnson show up to the draft, but oh yeah, Will Levis show up.
Yeah, come on in.
Your odds for number 1 pick have just gone up. Like they
Oh,
sort
that's
of
ridiculous. That was
they
ridiculous.
sort of strung him out there, kind of like Malik Willis was strung out there a lot last year.
Come on, no one had it. No one got it worse than the No one got it worse than Geno Smith a few years ago, a decade
Yeah,
ago.
sure.
That was just
Even EJ
Aaron
Manuel
Rodgers.
went ahead of him. That must have been awful.
Aaron Rodgers, like he was like one of the first ones where they just like moved him to another room so you couldn't see like the tears when he wasn't getting picked.
Hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Every time they show Geno, and then they show like his stats for his hand size. It would just be like he's just fallen. It's like, oh, the poor
His
guy.
hand size.
Yo, y'all talk about hand
Poor
sizes.
Gino.
That
Did
is
he-
my cue.
Well,
D-
actually, before Danny and D leave, I did want to
Okay.
mention this because D on the Speak on It pod, he's always talking about the fresh cut, and I actually just got a haircut today.
hey,
Now we're talking.
To my barber, Pat.
I've never seen
I'm
you-
wearing the shirt, Pat's barber, and
I've never seen you without a hat.
Well, exactly. That's
That's
because honestly, when my hair is not like freshly cut, it looks awful with headphones on. So I always want to wear a hat when I'm podcasting because I don't like the way my hair looks normally. But like when it's fresh and cut, like so this weekend, I'll probably go hatless. Like honestly, anyone who saw me yesterday, I was wearing the hat because my hair was long.
hey,
and not-
Cal,
not-
you
so-
need to log off and go holler at the missus. What you talking to us for? You got a first cut. It's Friday. What you
You
doing,
got,
Cal?
yeah, this
see,
was
she
nice
wants to read her
outside.
books,
Once
and
your
she
waves get to
hope-
going,
banking
you
on
gotta
this
get
me
your
being
little
busy for the
shoulder
draft to
dance,
not
drink
annoy
your
her,
little
to be honest.
tequila.
But anyway, speaking of misses, and I think what you're insinuating and getting in the mood of sorts.
You get the freedom.
Just took,
thing
a,
is,
just
my-
took a left turn. Yep, there
Well,
we go.
yeah.
the reason is my barber Pat is also a musician. PA the
Thank you,
second,
Will
and I know
Levis.
Danny and D. I shared the links with the songs for some of his stuff recently, so I encourage everyone to go check out PA the second. Talented barber, even more talented musician and producer. Produces all his own stuff, and yeah, it's quite incredible. So shout out to Pat for all that, and shout out to Danny and D, who always put on a great show. Looking forward to the 100th episode on Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks
For
for remembering.
sure.
Good job. Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for joining
Packers
us.
took
Thanks for
another edge. Keon White, Georgia Tech.
Patriots.
They're doing
Patriots.
well. Gonzalez
Patriots.
fell. This kid fell. They're doing
Watch
well.
out, Josh
God.
Allen. Yo,
My
y'all
Lord.
catch us on Tuesdays at 7:30. Tune in. GoingFor2 not going anywhere. We're out. Y'all guys
Bye,
taking
guys.
over.
Have a good night.
We'll catch you
Later,
next time.
guys. Have a good night.
See ya.
Congrats. Well done.
And then there were 4.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Dude,
So I mean, the Patriots are like normally they seem to reach on tons of players and look silly, but it seems like the rest of the NFL isn't even letting them. And they're they won't have any choice but to go with these stocky chalk picks that everyone seems to hate for some reason. So good on the
Listen,
Patriots.
they lost like Hightower this year, retired. They lose Mills as well. They've gone Gonzalez straight and White. They've done well.
they have
But
done
you-
well.
They've done well. And then like look at how that division's shaped up. You're doing all right.
I think those years are counting down on him, man. Everything counting now with Bill, you know?
I mean, they're probably never going to win another Super Bowl.
No,
At least not until like it would have to be a whole other like new franchise, like new quarterback, like
Who's that?
Wow.
the Patriots, right? Like they're probably not winning another one without Tom Brady.
All right. I'm
Oh,
so
man.
not going to be aboard on that one.
I don't know. Listen, I think you go rookie Mac Jones had 9 wins?
Maybe 10, to be honest. They didn't make the
10?
playoffs.
Like they
Excuse me?
weren't that bad 2 years ago. They weren't too
Bye,
they weren't
Gladys.
too shabby.
the Jets is winning the Super Bowl this year. So the
Oh my
Patriots,
God, man.
I'm sorry,
Oh my God.
they'll break even. This is not even a question. Why are we even having that conversation? I believe what the man says. They're declining. That's it. They're
Is he?
done.
Izzy, you can't get mad at people on Reddit, right, for getting on Will Levis to go number 1, and then
Yeah,
you come out saying the Jets are going to win it. You can't do that. It doesn't
Listen,
work this way.
we have the tools. This is we're playing with house money in this draft. We're just picking up here and there. You know what I mean? Somebody's getting hurt this year. This is, the Steelers. We're writing a list. We're writing a
Careful.
list, and we're
Careful.
making receipts. Okay.
Careful.
Give them out soon.
Izzy, just if I hear any Steelers slander, I'm going to come over there and bitch slap you. All right? I just want you to know that.
No, they did us dirty yesterday. You saw what they did? No, that
Dude!
You're so happy. She was
Oh, my
she was
God.
celebrating when that happened on the live
Oh,
stream.
let's just jump over to the Jets.
Although Joseph
Relax.
thinks Izzy is correct, so I don't know about what. If,
I don't know. Yeah, Joe. what do
Like
you-
the Jets going to win the Super Bowl.
No, that's not
Yes.
Also, I want to laugh at the Commanders because they reached on Emmanuel Forbes and
And
they
now they
doubled
just-
down by having their
Yeah.
second pick
Yeah,
beat
the-
another cornerback. I
Cornerback.
don't know if Jartavius Martin's a reach here, but that just seems funny.
Yeah. So
They're
let's
giving out
get
free
Emmanuel
wins this
Forbes with
The
Christian
Commanders are giving
Gonzalez
out
on the
free
board.
wins.
Yeah, they're like giving up that division. They're like, you know what? Yeah, there's no way we're gonna.
I
make
mean,
any inroads here.
I think that, like, and I said this yesterday, the Eagles have to be the heavy favorite to make it to the Super Bowl right
Okay,
now,
who
more
the
than any
fuck
team.
is this Joseph Rodriguez guy? That's all I want to know.
I know that guy. I know that guy.
The
I was gonna say,
Steelers.
No,
Go
we're
ahead.
heavy. We're heavy Jets fans. We're heavy Jets fans.
Is Joseph Rodriguez your is he's like burner account? Is that what's happening?
Oh no.
Yeah,
that's
is
my
he?
cousin. That's my cousin.
Oh, okay, right. I'm not giving him. I don't give him a pass for that.
No, I got you.
Well, okay.
I know,
Packers just
Gladys. We
traded
know
the
you
pick
tough, Gladys. Trust
completely.
me. We know you tough, Gladys. We know. Trust me.
What did you say?
The Packers just traded the pick. I don't know if they moved down too with the Bucks, but
Yeah,
Moved back 2 spots.
they did move back. Okay, because
Yeah.
it's showing right now the Bucks still have the 50th. So I was wondering, did they trade for a player? But
They moved back. They moved back 2.
They moved back to. It's the Bucks, Pitt, and then Packers.
so clearly the Packers, they wanted Musgrave, and they might be thinking Hyatt Downs in this next one, and like no one keeps taking them. So like, well, we can keep moving back, and like they may not be able to decide between the two.
I can't believe that Darnell
I like
Washington's
Luke.
still on the board. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would have liked him better than Musgrave. I'm pretty happy with Musgrave. But
I don't know, man. You got to get a lot right with a guy that has so little exposure, right? With Washington. That's
If
half
he
the
would have
battle.
went to the Bengals, it would have been a slam dunk. If he would have went to the Bengals, it would have been a slam dunk.
The Bengals have 1,000 tight ends.
Yeah.
They don't need.
well, don't they have
Not-
Irv Smith? And that's, I mean, Drew Sample, I guess.
Exactly. Like,
I'll tell you what.
I don't think Drew Sample really counts though.
Yeah, thank you.
It. You know, you got Chase. You got everybody else. That takes away. You know,
I guess
What are you gonna
what-
keep
what
in
are-
the refrigerator?
Okay. I don't know
What
if you guys
are
are
the
watching
Bengals'
this,
biggest
but
needs
this
then, right?
Cody
Like-
Mach guy from North Dakota State looks like a tackle. Like no
No
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah, no teeth. No
No
teeth.
teeth. That's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man. I like him. I
Big
like
guy,
him.
long hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like a
Yes.
tackle.
Just
Wait till he puts
cornbread
that helmet
farmer.
on. He's
Yeah.
gonna look crazy. He's gonna look
Because they don't
crazy.
have Donovan Smith anymore, right? So they
Right.
need.
Yeah.
If they show
They need
him, if they show him
Jesus.
playing hockey,
The
oh my
Bucks need
God.
Jesus.
Yeah,
They're
I should check the
done.
hockey scores.
They're never gonna win a Super Bowl
Thanks for
ever
reminding me.
again.
I thought, you know what? I thought that was a chance for them to take Herndon Hooker. I thought then if they come up, I thought that might have been the spot because there's just no way you can go trust
I don't know
them.
why my son Hayden is still on the is still down there. They doing him dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
You're gonna
man.
pick Will Levis before him? Well, it's
No,
Tennessee.
no, I would not take Will Levis.
I don't care. It's Tennessee. They suck. They suck. Tennessee sucks. All right, Joseph Rodriguez, you and I are gonna have like a long talk. We're gonna have a talk here in a few minutes. I can feel it happening.
Well, the Steelers are on the clock, so that.
It's true. The Steelers should have taken a quarterback. I don't need. Yo, if you're high on Kenny Pickett, God bless you. I'm sorry, Gladys. I love you. We supposed to be we peoples. You need to call some people and tell them to get rid of that guy.
Wait,
That guy
when
needs to go.
the Steelers traded up yesterday in the first round, I thought they might have
I was
done it.
thinking-
Oh my God!
I was thinking. I was like, oh,
As
they're
soon as
gonna
they
do
traded
it.
up, no,
They're
I was
gonna do
like,
it. They're gonna get rid of these QBs. I was like, oh.
no,
was like,
no. I was like, they are
Pickett's
jumping the Jets for the last best offensive lineman, and I
I
am
was like-
all here for it.
It's like, there's no need for them to jump the Jets for a quarterback. And I'm like, man, they must really want Levis for some
Hey, the
reason.
Steelers took a D-line from Wisconsin.
What feed are you on? What feed is he on? That he has that.
I'm on Bleacher Report.
Oh, damn it!
So, sorry,
Shout
did
out
someone
to
announce
Booster.
what the full trade for the Packers was?
No,
I
no one
think
cares about the Packers. but you.
it looks like they got back the Bucks' 6th round pick 179. That's what they got for moving down 2 spots.
It's not bad.
Oh, give it up, man. Give it
What
up.
are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Who's picking for the Lions? Why would you pass on Michael Meyer?
Why would they take
God.
Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall? Why would they take an off-ball
Hey,
linebacker
Gibbs
at
is
18th
good.
overall?
Gibbs is
There's-
good. That's a little sneaky pick, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't know what's going on over there. They could
As
be
someone who
playing
hates
with
the
house
Lions,
money, though.
as like
They could be
more than
playing
any
with house
team,
money. You don't know.
I love it. I love when the Lions seem to do things that don't make sense, and they seem to do that
Yeah.
often. So
yeah, correct.
I mean, they did sweep the Packers last year, so I guess I can't hate them too much in terms of hate on them.
They got swept a few times last year, didn't they? The Packers, they were pretty bad.
I mean, they didn't get swept by the Bears. who
Well, that
also
division is
finished as the
weak.
first overall pick. So
That
you know, I
division
think
is
actually
weak
the
if you think about it. Aaron Rodgers is gone. I don't think the Vikings really gonna have that really much of a good season. The Bears are the Bears. You know, it's possible. You know, the Lions could. You know, they could play some good games, get some good wins, and like I said, they could be playing with house money right now. They played pretty well with the players they had last year.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean, to be fair, the Lions are the team that took Amari Rodgers in the 3rd round. They took Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. So, like, you know, that's would love him on the Packers right now.
Well,
So yeah,
the thing is with that Gibbs pick, do you know what does my head in, right? 17 touchdowns Jamal Williams had, right? The goal line back. He cost about a third as much as what David Montgomery did. So, like, you've got rid of one guy who was in your system that clearly succeeded in what you wanted to do, to bring another guy in and pay him 3 times as much just to draft a sub 200-pound running back for
in
a
the
guy
1st round to replace a guy you took in the mid-2nd.
No, for a guy who's known as fragile. That's the irony of it. You've got a guy who weighs less to come in and take over for a guy who is. It's just mind blowing. The whole schism of it is just off. I don't know, just yeah, whatever.
I mean,
To
to
me,
me,
house money. I think I like the Lions pick. I agree with them. Like, they don't have opportunity to get athletic players like that, and you don't know if he would have been there next time. You know, when they had that pick, I like what they're doing. You know, that coach is a little silly, but he making something of it.
So my whole thing is Evan Hull is basically the more athletic version of Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a better technical runner, has better footwork, probably better almost in every way. It's just Jahmyr Gibbs played for Alabama, so he racked up the yards.
Come on,
like
he went to the baby
can
NFL team. He went into
you can
he knows
basically
what to
get
do.
what you're gonna get with Gibbs probably in the 4th round with Evan Hull. So like I don't like Gibbs isn't an elite athlete. Like his RAS score, I don't even think hit 8. Like there's quite a few better athletes at running back in terms of that elite player. Like I don't. I think he's maybe the biggest reach in the 1st round, other than maybe Emmanuel Forbes.
I think Emmanuel Forbes was the biggest reach in the 1st round.
But cornerback is probably more important a position than running back. So I would argue Gibbs is a bigger reach because you shouldn't, unless it's Bijan, like maybe the greatest running back we've seen since Adrian Peterson. That makes sense as a 1st round pick, but like Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't.
But the Lions have a good O line. They don't need an O line. Their wide receivers is not bad. Okay, running backs is okay. You can get a dime a dozen.
The offense is great. Their defense
is good.
Well, hang on.
They're getting there. They're getting there.
Hang on, wait. So would Evan Hull be an upgrade on DeAndre Swift?
No, but I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is an upgrade on DeAndre Swift. That's the crux of it. Like I don't think he's a good running back. I grade it like film grade wise. Like DeAndre Swift's a great interior runner who can run to the outside. I don't think Gibbs has very good footwork. I think he's going to get caught in the backfield a ton. All the things they don't like about Swift is the things that Gibbs does very prominently. So I don't get it, to be honest. It makes no sense to me, but I love it. Again, I love when the Lions don't make sense. Which again,
Jaden Reed to the Packers. Oh, I like it. Jaden Reed.
I wanted Downs, but
I like this a lot.
Downs is good.
The problem I have with that premise is that he's clearly lost the trust of Dan Campbell on the goal line. And if you can't show durability, the likeliness that they want to run him inside is probably lower too, right? So I just, once you lose that trust and they don't believe, look, you see what happened with Antonio Gibson last year, right? Punting special teams. Like, this is the thing, like, it's at that point where, like, if they don't trust him to go through, then I don't know why it's not an upgrade, because he's not going to play. I think that's just where it's at. Like,
I think we're expecting Swift to get straight.
You already know Montgomery can go through the middle. You know he can play on the goal line, and you know that Gibbs can do a bit of everything. If Swift isn't looked at as the same ilk that we think so, it's got to be the upgrade. It can't not be at this point. Whether it's a good pick or not, that's a completely separate.
Clearly, the Lions agree with you, Dan. They wouldn't do it unless they thought it was an upgrade.
I think we all agree that they jumped the gun on that one a bit, and he went way too early. But in terms of, like, I think we all like Swift, especially from a fantasy scope. But at this point, you've got to sit there going, like, okay, they brought Montgomery in, who's probably more capable than Jamal Williams, even though Williams had his good role carved out. They went through maybe 3 or 4 different running backs because Swift couldn't play last year. They had, Josh Jackson in there. They had, oh my God, I forgot his name.
Well, it's
Chris
Justin
Reynolds,
Jackson.
Justin Jackson, they had Chris Reynolds in there too. They were trying to throw anyone.
Godwin,
out there.
Ikwebicki. I think
That's it,
Jameer
like-
Jefferson made an appearance at one point.
They're going to throw everyone out there that isn't him because he's just not there anymore. And okay, like they had their second pick, they threw him out there. Not the smartest pick, I don't think, at that point. But look, it can't not be an upgrade if they think that this guy's going to go out and do the job that Swift can't.
I mean, just because they think it's an upgrade, they thought Matt Patricia was an upgrade on Jim Caldwell, right? Like this is that same team. Like, and I know it's different GMs, but it's the same ownership. And I don't know, this team is just such bad judgment. I feel like they've done it again. Like, and because to me,
I think they also have drafted quite well since they come in as well. I think they've done pretty good. Like last
I
year.
don't think the Jamison Williams pick was good.
I don't think the James Williams pick was good.
I think
don't
Treylon
it's
Burks
bad.
is still better. Like, I think that would fit better, but we'll see. I just dude caught one pass as a rookie, so like at this point, it's tough to say that was a win.
That's hard.
I know.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
I mean, he played 4
That's
games.
not fair.
If he had just played one game, I could maybe okay, but he had 3 games with 0 catches. Like, that's awful. Like, I don't even think Burks had 3 games with 0 catches, and Burks was pretty awful.
Burks had asthma in January.
I don't know. I mean, the Aiden Hutchinson pick kind of fell to them. They got lucky that the Jags messed up there, really.
They would have taken him at 1. I don't think.
Well, they would have, but but the Jags should have, right? Like that they shouldn't have had the opportunity to take him. So
Yeah, that was a bonehead play, that wasn't it? That just
very much what I expect the Lions to do. So you can see, I don't know. I'm just a Lions hater. What can I say?
it's very apparent at this
What
point.
is your team? What is your
I'm a
team?
Packers fan.
Of course he is. He's been living with privilege for about 30 years until he realised that with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, they won the same amount of Super Bowls.
What are you doing now?
They won-
What is life like with
All that dominance,
Jordan?
all that dynasty, only to win the same amount of Super Bowls as Eli Manning. That's just terrible. Between
You have
Favre
faith in Jordan Love?
and Rodgers, they won 2. Eli won 2. It's terrible.
Man,
Zach
it's almost like,
Charbonnet. Zach
if only
You
the
have
Packers had the
faith in
most
Jordan Love.
championships in NFL history, I could like rest on or something. but-
Zach Charbonnet to the Seahawks. Oh,
Nice.
That
Nice.
sucks. That sucks.
Why do the Seahawks hate us? Why do they just kill Zach
Sucks.
Charbonnet like that?
That sucks.
Well,
That's
okay,
terrible.
so my whole take of Charbonnet ahead of Gibbs is the RB2. That's definitely not happening.
That's dead. That is fucking dead. Dead. Oh my god, that's just such a. Why would they do that? Oh my god.
Because all they're going to do is run the ball this year.
I'm just
That
gonna
is all they're going to do. That's all
Charbonnet
they're
is
going to do.
dead. Same thing. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, that makes my pick.
Oh, Jordan Love is not going to air it out. I don't think he probably averaged like what 200 yards a game, give or take. But
No,
I got faith.
I like
You can average a bit more than that.
I got faith for you, Kyle. I got faith for you, Kyle. Don't worry about it. I got
But yeah, I think he
Oh
can
my God,
operate an
he's gonna
offense
be good.
fine, but it's just, can he win a Super Bowl? And then
I
suddenly
just
the
feel he
Packers have
doesn't-
more Super Bowls than Eli Manning suddenly. Can he do that? I don't think he can, so.
I don't think he has enough time to make enough. Like he has to put in a lot of games to get that
No,
experience.
no, listen, I think
They're
that-
throwing him into the fire right now.
Yeah.
I think the
So,
Packers-
I'm sorry. Whatever mistakes he makes, they're going to, and I'm sorry. If they're in a position to get a quarterback next year, like Caleb Williams, sorry.
I don't understand why everyone is like quarterback next year. Like 1,000 things could happen. Caleb Williams could get hurt. Like-
It's funny how many teams,
Hey.
like, we expect there's going to be like 5 clones of Caleb Williams because
Yeah.
how many teams are planning for it, right? Like,
Right.
I don't think Jordan Love is bad enough where the Packers will be in a position to take Caleb Williams.
Nah, not at all.
God bless you.
I mean, I guess if he is, then they find out real quick. You got to really hope the Packers don't pick up the 5th-year option if he really is that bad, though. And then they can just get like, okay, you're done. Walk as a free agent.
I just don't. I mean, this
you
is
don't pick
why
up the
I don't
phone
play
and just
Dynasty.
ask
This
for
is why I don't
Trey
play
Lance.
Dynasty.
Call for Trey Lance. What's up? Like, just make that trade. It's like, come on. Or you can get a quarterback down the road. Look at what was the kid from San Francisco, Brock, right? You don't know. Anything can happen. Anything
Yep.
can happen now these days.
I think at the very least, the Packers want to find out, right? Like they're giving Love this year. You better think of him essentially.
Because he's cheap. And they're still paying, the Rodgers tax.
Yeah. Look, I think
Got your back.
Look, I think he's been in their system long enough. I think you've got a good team around him. I think he's only going to get better with him as.
But he's been in the game. He's played.
He's done all
He's
right.
played a few games. There's no wow there factor. He's played okay. Kyle, come on.
I mean, I haven't really seen him complete much deep. That's the thing. Like he's super accurate, throws with good timing, makes good decisions against the blitz, but everything is short. And it's okay. Can the receivers make all those plays deep? The only time I've really seen him throw deep and complete the ball deep was the one. Was it 2022 week 1 against, or 2021 week 1 against the Saints, where the Packers got absolutely destroyed on the road, and actually was on a neutral site too. And like Jordan Love came in for some of the second half, and the Saints were playing this like prevent shell defense because they were up by 30. So they were allowing more intermediate, deeper stuff to be completed, and Love was able to complete it then, but I haven't really seen him do it in tight competitive games where teams are trying to take away.
Who's the offensive coordinator for the Packers this year?
Is it Adam Stenovich, who used to be the offensive line coach, I think?
I'm not sure.
I think that's who it is. I think it's
depending how they. I like what you said, and it depends with the playbook. If they baby him and they let him, you gotta let him go off in the beginning. If they could let him go off, adjust, and it really depends how fast he adjusts, and if he could take off. But I'm telling you, if his season starts off bad, that your division this year, you should break even, maybe a little bit more games over. You guys, you don't have a good team, but you don't have a bad team either. You know what I mean?
This guy's like he's got his Jets up, and he's up and about with his Jets.
I know, right?
Like he's looking down on everyone right now.
Jets,
but don't you got Dobbs and Watson? Dobbs and Watson is not a bad little.
And now Jaden Reed as well.
Come on, that's not like they're not giving you peanuts here. Those kids are not bad, and they played with Aaron Rodgers for 1 season, so I give it to them. It's not an upgrade, but it's okay.
I think I have to move Kenneth Walker down off the Dynasty RB1 now, don't I?
That's just wild. It's just such a weird pick. Okay, they've had issues when they've had a running back go down. They've gone through like DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, Elijah Penny's obviously someone that they've filtered to and from. They've had issues at running back, so I understand wanting to try and find some really good insurance for Walker, but that's way too soon because these guys are they're deep this year. That didn't have to happen right now. It's just.
I forgot about Walker. They did my man dirty. This is bad. That's a bad move.
I understand trying to spell him. Chardonnay's okay with his hands as well, but it just doesn't at this point. I was talking about this with someone today. It was like we're talking about the Buffalo pick, the tight end, right? But why would they take a tight end at the end of the first? And they've not gone receiver. Right, but you're trying to think maybe that might be more of a James Cook thing where he starts to receive a little bit more. Like if they're going to go 2 wide receiver with 2 tight ends with Diggs, then Cook's out there. That might make more sense. So it doesn't sound bad when you put it out there. And that would make sense for Seattle right now. But you just drafted, JSN. You're going to play with 3 more often than not. Why do you need that other running back right now? And especially with all the free agent running backs that are out there,
they could have signed Rashad Penny for super cheap.
Oh my God! It's beyond. It's beyond.
The Bears are up right now.
The Bears
are up right
Gervin
now.
Dixter from Florida, the defensive tackle.
They took him. I wanted Washington. They should take that tight end.
Yes.
Tight end,
I can't believe he's dropping. It's making me very sad.
Yes, that is right.
I can't believe Charbonnet went to Seattle on such a bad pick. It's amazing.
The one thing I'll say to Seattle, this is their 4th pick in the draft, so that I feel like maybe they can.
House money.
I mean, if the Seahawks are smart, they're viewing Charbonnet as the second best running back in this class, not Gibbs. So they see it as he's the second best player. He's fallen this far. It's not nearly as much as a reach as Gibbs is. So
they also passed. If that's the way you're thinking about it, then they also passed on Bijan. Because they passed on him, he went before.
I guess they did have the 5th pick.
So
they clearly weren't going to take him 5th though, right?
The Chargers are up, right? Nice.
I guess there's a difference taking the running back with your 4th pick or your 1st pick, right? I think they clearly view it as that much of a difference.
Do you value Pete Carroll? Because that's the question of the day.
I mean, I think he's a good head coach.
But then I think he's doing something over there. I don't know what he's doing over there. You know, he got them playing
He needs to do it
the right way.
That dude,
So I don't know. I don't like Jamal Adams, so I don't care about him. But everybody else, I like the way they're playing.
that guy moves so much. Like, I'm afraid that if he gets gout, we'll never see him again. I'm worried for Pete Carroll. I'm terrified for him. He's getting old. He's going to like look a little less spry.
You looking like Joe Biden out there?
Not great.
Sleepy Joe? Sleepy Carroll?
Poor Pete Carroll.
I want the Chargers to take Darnell Washington.
Yes, they should take
That would be a
Darnell
great
Washington.
pick.
That would be a
That would be a great
steal,
pick.
huh?
That would make me happy. A lot.
But then it's sad because they need help on defense too, though. So it's just I don't know.
That division. Oh, Nick Hardwick. What?
Wow.
They're like.
Who is this team? What are they doing?
I still can't believe that. That's wild, Charbonnet. That's edge to Tuli Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu, USC.
The fuck?
Edge.
Oh, them USC kids is getting picked right now. Look at
That edge guy. No. Whoa. All right. This is making me sad.
That's
Yeah,
need
the
that.
Seahawks
They
have
need
just sad
defense.
entirely.
Yeah.
That's
I-
wild.
I-
Chargers need defense. I like that. I'm
Wait a
not
minute.
get on that.
That's all right. What other surprises do you think you've seen so far? I missed that whole first hour tonight. I missed. I can't believe it.
The whole what?
The whole first hour of tonight. I'm so good.
Oh.
I didn't like the Quentin Johnson pick either to the Chargers quietly. I didn't like that pick.
I mean, I don't hate Mingo to the Panthers, but not exactly doing a happy dance over it at all.
How much? You know, they bring in Chark. They got Thielen. Hayden Hurst is there.
Yeah,
It's
I
not the
mean,
worst. Like, it's not the worst with Miles Sanders. Like, they completely revamped that offense to add in Mingo with Marshall. It's not the worst environment to walk into as a rookie.
who's this?
Achille. Rojo
Okay.
Truther in our leagues. That's my friend Achille. What up, dude?
He's a what truther?
Rojo Truther in the FBC Dynasty League.
He is.
Okay.
Well, that's his team name.
Might be.
And yes, he does really like Ronald Jones, to be honest.
Might be. Well, he's still alive, right? He's still hanging in there.
Hey, right now he's the main backup to Tony Pollard on the Cowboys, right? Like it's funny. We're talking about the other teams we thought would reach on a running back, and it turned out to not be Dallas. They reached on a nose tackle, but
Yeah.
I would put my money on it that Zeke ends up back there.
They learned their lesson.
Let's go back.
They learned their lesson.
they learned a lesson, but they may have learned.
They did. I like Pollard, and I think this year, I don't think Dak is going to be in the same position that he had last year. I think he's really this might be a make or break season for him. Pollard's really going to be the main point of that team. Be expected to him have the ball, run the offense all through him.
So like Dak.
CD's okay.
Sorry, Izzy.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say kind of like Dak's rookie season, right? Like how they used Zeke when Dak first got there, when they both first got there, really.
I don't think you want that from Tony Pollard. I really don't. I tell you what. They got rid of one plotting running back. Do you know who'd be a good fit over in Dallas? Fournette.
Yes, because if he's Zeke but cheaper, then yes, that would make sense.
Yeah. I don't think you can put that load on Tony Pollard. I think everyone likes to think that he can. I came here to say hate the Lions. Wow, that's. Well, you know the company you're in, so it's a good time for you to say that. I
He's
guess.
a Rojo truther and a DeAndre Swift truther, because like one of the trades I've managed to make in the FBC Dynasty League this year was I traded Swift to Achille for the 112. So
I made a move this year. I've been copying hell for it for about a day. It was I wanted the 104, and I wanted to move Tyler Algier. So I moved Deontay Johnson and Tyler Algier for the 104. And as soon as I did it, everyone's like, Bijan's going to the Falcons. You know that, right? I'm like, I don't know that. And then he did. And now I feel horrible.
Wait, in a 1 QB league?
Superflex. Superflex.
Why though?
Why? Just felt like doing it. But it's kind of worked out all right. It's kind of worked out okay. I'm happy. I've got a lot of picks, and I just wanted to package them to get up. I'm kind of at no man's land, so.
Fair enough. I guess if you're taking enough picks and getting quarterbacks, like if
I've got quarterbacks. I got enough.
Okay.
I think I got Jackson, Watson, and Lance. So I'm all right. Okay.
Oh yeah, the Jackson Watson combo's good. I mean, you throw in a Richardson there, just another high risk high upside guy, right?
I can take 104. I can do what I have to. I'm fine in that regard. It's okay. I like Charbonnet there. At Dallas, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Charbonnet and Dallas would be great, not Seattle.
Yeah, and that would make a lot of sense. But Fournette, you're looking at experience. You can't just put all of that on Pollard. Pollard's been a very good compliment with Zeke, not to Zeke. They've had their own role, I think. I've said it. I don't know if anyone listened to anything I had to say all last year, but if there was one thing I hung my hat on, was that Tony Pollard's not a receiving back.
No,
He's not this guy that everyone thinks is like this Austin Eckler type. He's going to catch the ball because no, he doesn't. It's like
he's never hit 40 receptions in a season. I'm pretty sure.
He's, at one point, he was going for like 1 a game, and he had like all his yards came in 1 game, and it was like he was only averaging 6 receiving yards on the road or something like that. It was like I went down like this rabbit hole of like he's not what you think he is. And if that's the case,
people see small running back, they think pass catcher, satellite guy.
That's 100%. It's exactly what they think. So he needs someone like Fournette can do it all, and he would be a great piece to add to Dallas with experience, especially like when the times get tough, when you want to hit that playoff run. He's the guy that you want. Fournette, Lombardi, Lenny, right? Like he's someone that you can rely on down that stretch. You look at like the rookies that they have, and you're sitting there thinking, well, okay, Hull might be a guy, McBride might be a guy. Like you're going to have to get to that point. Who's going to fit with that Dallas system? It's got to be someone. It's got to be someone that can play a part role with him. I don't think he can do it by himself. You couldn't see Pollard taking 16, 17 a game. You couldn't. 12, maybe. 13, 14 would be pushing it. I think that's where he's really at. I don't think. And they were right. They kind of got dragged through the mud at Dallas last year when they came out and said, Pollard's not this guy that we think can handle a massive workload. They came out and said it. I absolutely agree with them. I don't think he can. It's kind of wild. Oh, Rashee Rice to the Chiefs. Wow. There we go. SMU's finest. Go Mustangs.
Isn't that where Moore went?
Who?
Sky Moore.
He's at the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that is that the same school, or was that, or maybe not?
No, he went to like a
I don't think so.
Dakota. Wasn't it like one of those Dakota schools, like North Dakota, South Dakota?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. My bad.
My old stomping grounds out at SMU. Much respect for the Mustangs. There we go. Mockingbird Road. We love it. A little bit of Oaklawn Avenue. Very good.
Rashee Rice.
It doesn't really matter who they draft. Like they're just literally going Kelsey for $180, and whatever happens after that happens.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Chicago's up again. Chicago's stockpile picks.
If Chicago doesn't take this tight end from Georgia, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be a little disappointed.
My Giants are up after that. I'm a little terrified, to be honest, because I have no idea where there's a few receivers that are still out there that I like, but
they could take Josh Downs. They could be looking at. They need a speedy receiver.
I think
they need a speed.
I mean, Josh Downs would be cool, but like we've got a lot of small, shifty receivers as it is. If you told me that, like,
but you got Waller.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, but like he's good for 3 games before his hamstring takes him out for 14. If you told me someone like Xavier Hutchinson was there for the Giants, it might be around too early for him. I kind of like the idea of us getting a bigger sized guy, but I kind of think that might be the way to go. Downs to be a great pick for the Giants. They need him. A lot of speed with that, but again, like They did re-sign. It sounds so bad when you say it, but like they did re-sign that Darius Slayton, who has got a lot of speed. He's been their best receiver for 3 out of the last 4 years. He's been that guy for them. You can't
Even
ask
if they hate him.
Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback.
Full season.
That's
He has not played a full season though.
who Slayton. I don't.
He's not healthy, you know.
Slayton's fine for what he is. I don't think if anyone expects him to be any more than what he does, I think that's kind of delusional. You know, the Giants.
I took out Campbell too. Didn't you pick up Campbell though this year too? So
Harris Campbell.
Harris Campbell.
They've got a bunch.
yeah, maybe you put a guy on defense then. Maybe you can get somebody on defense.
They did okay. Look, the problem is obviously like Dexter Lawrence at D-line, like he hasn't really been showing up lately because obviously some contract stuff going on there. They overpaid for Leonard Williams. That was a massive problem. That's coming to an end soon. But like, there's other parts like I think who do we recruit? We recruited Bobby Okereke from the Colts. That was a nice pickup, I think. I still think we need safeties. Our defense needs some work, and especially with that division, you can't not like beef up at linebacker, beef up at D-line, especially the way that Philly run the ball. And you know, Giants selection. Oh, Lawrence Tynes, not this guy. What a clown. Another one of the Giants faithful that everyone just turns on. He's just not good. He's not good on Twitter. Don't follow him. Stay away.
Hey, your Giants pick is in here, kid.
Yeah, follow the B League Says on Twitter / Thomas the Tank Engine / Swiss Miss / Discord Dan / Promo Pimp. Did I miss anyone? Did I miss any of them, Dan?
Swiss Miss is in there. Center, John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota. Perfect. We need one of those. Great.
Perfect. Is that sarcasm?
No, we need.
I was gonna say it seems like you guys got the edge protectors good, but the interior of the line could use.
We did okay for what it was. I think Feliciano played at center a fair bit last year. I think he got hurt a little bit too. He comes with a bit of a price tag, which isn't a problem. But we got some decent players out of our front line. Neal and Thomas squaring out there. I think Mark Lewinsky had a decent year as well for the Giants too. So our O-line has actually been quite good. Do I feel like this is I think the Giants are going for practical. They've obviously the cornerback in the first round. They've gone for a center now, which they absolutely needed. I thought maybe, I still think linebacker needs some help because at one point Jalen Smith and Landon Collins were in there, and that's Jalen Smith and Landon Collins. If that's what you're running with,
Jalen Smith isn't even playing right now, and Landon Collins is a safety, and that's your linebackers.
Yeah, that's what we were running with at one point. So and Austin Calitro, he was our starting. That's it. Follow Dan if you want to win overs and unders every week. Yes, I did. I won a lot of people. I won money last week. I did all right. It was a good show.
Yeah, the B League Says Friday nights on the GoingFor2 Live Network during the NFL season. So check it out, everyone.
Did all right. Good first year. It's all right. Not the worst show you could watch.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Dallas on here. Here we go, running back. It's got to be right. They're going to do something stupid.
Well, no, they got sniped on Charbonnet. You may as well wait on Evan Hull now.
Oh, look at that. Packers fans are leaving already. They got their receiver. We're done. We're good. Day 2, we're out. I love it. It's so good.
Beat all that traffic home from Kansas City, the great metropolis of Kansas City.
Just drive north. Just follow the sun, boys. You got it. You're going all right. Drew Pearson loves a rev talk, though. He does kind of wind up. He does get a little windy. Come on, man.
A lot windy.
Tight end.
They took Shoemaker over Darnell Washington.
Listen, Washington tested really good, but he doesn't have the experience on him for. This guy's probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in here with a little bit of experience.
I mean, it's hard because you can't say, look, he's got the size over Washington because Washington's freaking massive. But this guy clearly looks like the blocking sort. It's going to happen. He's going to sit there on the edge. He's going to do that. He's going to run up the seam. He's going to do that. They're just trying to find the next Witten. That's it. If you don't have to think about the position for 10, 15 years, you've done well.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, look how long Mercedes Lewis was in the league.
Yeah.
He's still in the league. He's out at the Jets now, isn't he?
You see, I don't think he actually signed with the Jets. I know that rumor was there. That was all this rumor swirling of every receiver that's ever played for the Packers is signing with the Jets. James Jones, Jordy Nelson, they're coming out of retirement. Greg
everybody.
Jennings. Actually, he hates Rodgers. He would.
Are you sure? But are you sure that he's not there? Because I thought he did go there.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who?
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis at the Jets.
No.
Wait.
I don't think he's in the.
Wait for it, bro. It's coming.
He's currently a free agent, but yeah, he could sign with the Jets.
They kind of have that in Uzuma as well, anyway.
Well, Tyler Conklin, I would think, is their starter based on everything he did last year.
I like Recker. I like the kid from Ohio State that we got from I think last year.
Isn't he like one of the least athletic tight ends we've ever seen though?
Hey, he's a good kid. The kid's a baller. You got to have faith in him. I like him. He's a blocker too.
I think Conklin does everything you need, to be honest. Like I think you've already got your starting tight end there.
I'm a Conklin guy, and no one's made an offer for him.
I love Conklin. He's amazing. Yes, you're correct.
Just because I don't think Ruckert's there yet. Like I don't think he can surpass Conklin. Maybe
in
a few years, perhaps. Yeah, Conklin.
No, for sure. But I want to see the ball in Wilson's hands. So it's honestly, yeah. I want to see all the Davis. I want to see Lazard. I don't want to see none of the tight ends. Honestly, I know it's gonna help us, but I want to see.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson probably needs to get 160 targets.
Oh my God.
It was funny. The Jets actually looked all right when Corey Davis got going last year. And that was with Flacco.
He's not bad.
Talking about Corey Davis, we now have Courtney, not Davis, sorry. But, how you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
What's good?
Good.
Look,
I was better until the Seahawks took Charbonnet. That ruined my night.
Oh my gosh, I was literally screaming at the TV. If I had not had a drink in my hand, it would have gone flying across the room. That was a horrible pick. I hated it.
Yeah, it was not ideal, was it?
God, sorry about that. I'm a little pent up over here. Yeah.
Feeling that energy. I like it. Good.
God. I just don't understand the pick. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all have already talked about it, but Jiminy Christmas.
Well, yeah, feel free to rant. It's nothing we haven't said.
I just don't get it. I mean, Kenneth Walker's a great. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, I know you could use some backups, but and you could use a backup to Kenneth Walker, but that's what you go in round 3 or 4. I don't get it. I think it was a dumb pick. I don't get it. I'm also thinking that the Cowboys should have just taken Darnell Washington. I think that would have been a much better pick for them. But that's me too. I mean, whatever.
We've been talking about Darnell Washington all night. We've seen what, 5 tight ends drafted so far, and he hasn't been one of them. It's shocking.
Chiefs taking edge. That was last night. The Kansas boy, right?
Yeah, that was last night.
Do you think they really wanted to do that? Do you think they really wanted to take the Kansas boy with the last pick?
You see, I think they wanted Anton Harrison, and then the Jags swooped in.
Yeah. Well,
I think that was going to be the Chiefs' pick because they lost both their tackles. So
I like this run of picks coming up. We got Buffalo, then Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Philly, and Detroit to round out the second. That's kind of interesting on those teams. Like Detroit get another pick.
Yeah, I know. What can Detroit possibly do now?
Detroit. You watch Detroit double down on tight end and take Washington just to get five. just to give.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
It'd be so Detroit.
All right, who's Buffalo going with here?
Maybe they double down and take Darnell Washington.
Here we go. Bill's selection is in.
They were tied to Jalen Hyatt, and the fact that he's still there is this Jalen Hyatt pick here.
That's a great call.
There was talk they might go Flowers, Jalen Hyatt, that type of receiver in the first round. So
I like their Dalton Kincaid pick though. I liked it a lot.
How good is Fred Jackson as well? It was so good. That was a good tandem. They had Jackson and Spiller there at one point. Oh my. Harvin was in there too. What a team they had at one point. How did they not win anything? Well, they had Tyrod Taylor and Cole. Either way. What have we got here? It's got to be receiver, right? They can't be leaning on Gabe Davis this whole time again. It's just not going to happen. Can't be Gabe Davis. They lose Isaiah McKenzie as well. They go guard Osiris Torrance from Florida. Which
actually, I mocked him to the Giants. I thought instead of going center, they might want to just take a guard.
Well, I know. I do also know that Feliciano can kick out and play guard as well. So that's, I get it. But like, that's a good pick for Buffalo because they did start to look a little scratchy towards the end. Allen was starting to take some unnecessary hits, so protection, it's ideal. And look, you lose a guy like, it sounds so silly, but like you lose a guy like Singletary that was able to like hold his own. Like he's not the best blocker, but he can hold his own enough. I don't know. Bengals didn't waste time; they're back on. Very good.
It's funny because I thought this was going to be the ideal spot for Darnell Washington. If he suddenly goes, like are we taking him ahead of most of the tight ends that just went in the second round in rookie drafts?
I am very I'm a big Laporta guy. I quite like Sam Laporta. He does give me like his blocking needs to improve. We get that, but he gave me like George Kittle vibes, something hard. I don't know why.
Because he went to Iowa. Then
Is that what it was? But
Yes.
I couldn't have even known that. But
what it was. Proximity. There's a proximity vibe. Let it go.
I had no idea you went to Iowa though. I had no idea.
Proximity vibe. You were tingling for the wrong reasons.
DJ Turner, I will tingle for every reason. I will not be tingle shamed.
Well, I mean, they needed to replace Eli Apple, and I'm sure any rookie they could have thrown in there is a better replacement over Eli Apple. So
Sure.
these guys got to be better, right?
That's like the greatest compliment he could ever get, right? Well, he needed to be replaced.
He did, actually. Dude, there's been like a run on Michigan guys in the second round.
Hey, Jim Harbaugh knows how to develop.
Whatever. I'm just going to forget you said that and move on. It's ridiculous. Jim Harbaugh.
What the hate on Harbaugh? I've always thought he was a pretty good coach.
Did you know? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You are allowed to be wrong like once every blue moon, Kyle. You have.
I would assume I'm wrong far more often than that, but thank you for allowing that.
No, you're there. That's all right.
I just think like the 49ers, like, they won the last time they won a Super Bowl was 1995. And since then, they've mostly had periods where they've been completely awful, and they've had a couple good stretches. One was when Harbaugh was coach, and now they're kind of seeing one with Kyle Shanahan as coach. But like, it's been pretty bad since Bill Walsh left.
Yeah. He ran a 4.26.
I mean, I didn't say, to Jamie's credit, like he may not be able to develop receivers well, but like I think, and I guess he was an offensive guy, so it's weird the defense seems to develop well at Michigan, but
I'm very sad about this Darnell Washington falling. It's making me very sad. And I'm very hungry.
I mean,
So maybe I'm just hungry.
This would be a good spot for him in Jacksonville because Evan Ingram, he's got on the tag this year.
Franchise tag, yeah, 1 year.
They're probably not going to commit to him more than what they have to. So, I mean, if you're looking at a place to go, I mean.
If he goes to Philly, I might throw up.
I was just going to say, if he goes to Philly, that's the problem. That's going to be a real big problem.
Yeah.
And they're just drafting all the Georgia kids this year, so it makes sense.
So the Packers did that last year, and they got all the crappy Georgia guys.
Philly's treat the draft, right? You know how you're going to like work, and you've got like a work fantasy league, and they don't tell you that they've been playing fantasy for 30 years, but they turn up. Oh yeah, I'll join in. How about we make it a $150 buy-in? And as soon as you go, why would you say that? You've never been here or done this before. Like they're kind of just conning everyone. That's how they treat the NFL draft. They just turn up and they're like, yeah, we'll take this guy, this guy, this guy. And after you realize it, they've just absolutely schemed everyone.
So the Eagles are basically a giant heist movie.
They are a heist. It's ridiculous.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
No, they're getting. I think they're loading up. They went to the Super Bowl.
They want to go back. Seems like
they want to go back exactly, but they also got to keep a lot of the same guys. So, especially Hurts, and he's only going to get better.
Well, I was going to say, are they a better team this year than they were last year? Like right now, does this roster look better than last year?
On paper, they look wild. On paper, they look crazy.
That's because of how deep the AFC is. I think if you're going to bet on one team right now to make it to the Super Bowl, I think it has to be the Eagles. easier path through the NFC as opposed to you may not pick them to win. Like whoever comes out of the AFC might still be the better winner in terms of if it's the Chiefs or the Bengals or the Bills finally make it back. But like getting to the Super Bowl, I think the Eagles have the easiest path.
After that beautiful draft and round run, the Eagles better be making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I for sure. I'm sure that's their internal expectations. Courtney is they're thinking, and they're not thinking just make it. Like they're thinking win the Super Bowl or bust. Like that's their mission this next season.
They got 2 great players. It was crazy. I just can't believe that Nolan Smith fell that far. But
I wanted the Packers to take him at 13.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. But I was also, I don't know. I still can't get over the Seahawks pick. I have to stop. I can't.
I was going to say, Seattle have had a very good draft up until what just happened. And listen, I think we've been over it before. Like if you're going to get a backup running back, Charbonnet's going to be as good as it's going to get. So I as much as I don't agree with the timing of it, there's a lot of worse guys that are out there that could do the job. And they've had some issues at running back for a while now where longevity has been a problem. But the way that they've drafted this year, Seattle, so far, they've done very well to they've even made positions better. Like Tariq Woolen had a good year last year, right? And now they get another cornerback who's going to be just as good. They had Tyler Lockett's going to be evergreen. I feel like he can play for a few more years, and you're going to bring in Jigba in as well. Metcalf's going to Metcalf, and they've got a very good core amongst them, and their defense is only going to be added to it. I kind of like what they're doing.
Did Denver trade out of the second round?
No,
didn't Denver have a pick? I thought Denver had a pick in the second round.
They got the last pick. They're after Houston in 2 picks.
They have the last pick of the second round?
Jacksonville, Houston, then Denver.
You see, I'm seeing Jacksonville, Philly, and then Detroit.
Philly already traded up. Detroit moved back. So it's Jaguars and Houston and Denver.
All right, here we go. You think they take Washington?
No.
The Jags?
Yeah, I don't think they will.
No, but I mean, it's not
CB maybe.
If they're not going to sign
it,
it, it's not the worst spot.
Oh my gosh! They just took a tight end, but it wasn't dark down. Oh my gosh!
What a strange pick.
What? Come on! What are these people doing?
Jesus Christ.
Exactly,
So I think I'm going to
exactly.
lower Darnell Washington for my tight end 1 in the rookies, I think.
Oh my gosh!
Do you know why this makes me a little happy? I know this sounds a little weird, but it's not the right time to gloat about this, but the Giants got Darren Waller for a third.
Yeah.
That's
true.
It was a late third as well. So I kind of like the idea that what the last pick was, we got that from Kansas for Tony, right? We got that for Darren Waller, and all these kind of prospect tight ends are going now in the second. I don't know. The more I see this happen, I kind of feel better about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, so Houston, they grabbed Dalton Schultz, right? If you said Washington was going to follow someone, that's a good guy to learn from. There's so many places, but I think he's going to fall. I don't think he's going tonight. The way he's going.
Strange is not a good tight end. He wasn't good at Penn State.
What a
No, and he's actually pretty slow.
Ugh.
The tape that I saw on him, he was just moving very slow.
It's happening.
Yeah, I kind of like the landing spots for all the other second round tight ends, like Laporta, Detroit, Mayer with the Raiders, Musgrave with the Packers, Schoonmaker with the Cowboys. A little less, but I kind of get those spots. But with Evan Ingram being there, I feel like I'm going to be a lot. I mean, we don't necessarily expect much from tight ends to start anyway, but even 2 years of development, I could still see them bringing back Evan Ingram as kind of on a bridge deal, waiting for Brenton Strange to develop.
What a name. That's my favorite name of the night so far.
Juice?
Juice
Yeah,
Scruggs.
me too.
What a name. Juice Scruggs.
I liked Osiris too. That was a good name too.
Now all the interior offensive linemen have the best names.
So far.
Well, I like this pick. They need some strength in there to protect CJ Stroud. You know what I mean? So I like it.
Went out last night, got wild.
Penn State back-to-back picks.
Now walking home in a pair of Juice Scruggs. That's what it is. That's a great name.
Well, here's Denver.
Just got some
Denver
juice.
is the Don't make that
Dude,
pick,
how can you
know?
not love D'Amico Ryans? Seriously. Seriously. I mean, everything about him.
Who
Everything.
was that,
I
Gladys?
can think
Who
of
did
one really
you,
stupid reason, but yeah.
What?
who did you
What'd you
say?
say?
What's not to love?
I said, how can you not love D'Amico Ryans? I don't even understand how.
Why,
It's like
why, Kyle? Tell us why.
Robert Sala. He's like Robert. Come on.
Well, there's
Tell
this
me why.
awful thing called discrimination that people stupidly continue to do all the time. So, that would be one reason, but I agree with
Not
you.
with-
Raj.
not with-
There's no logical reason to hate him. He seems
not
like
with D'Amico Ryans.
He's a
he
good
seems like
looking,
he's a smart guy.
good looking man.
Yeah, he is. Damn.
He doesn't
All right,
have a
here we go.
beard.
Here we go, Broncos.
He's a defensive guru, man.
What is he?
He's a defensive guru.
Yeah, he is. And he looks
he
good
does.
doing it.
Is it
Marcus.
weird to see DeMarcus Ware make a pick for Denver, not Dallas?
No.
That's
He
kind
won a
of weird,
Super
right?
Bowl with Denver. He didn't win
Yeah.
anything with Dallas, like most Dallas players.
come on. He's the mayor out there. Man. Never mind that.
I know. I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
the Cowboys.
Love the memes. Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, this makes me not want to trade a second for Cortland Sutton. I'll tell you that, Dan.
No.
Wait, hang on. Your issue is not trading a second for Cortland Sutton, but you're okay to trade a second for Alec Pierce? You're wild, man. You're wild. 100 targets in the last 3 years. Average. He's not worth a second.
Really? Average that? That's interesting.
Last 3 of these last 4, because one of them yet.
I was gonna say he tore an ACL, so if you're counting that year in there,
3 of these
gonna
last
see
4,
the
he's
average.
averaged like 102 or something.
All right, boys and girls.
109
I must go.
last year, to be fair. Yeah.
I like Marvin Mims. I like that.
I'm not crazy, Kyle. I'm not crazy.